Okay, so I believe the stream is up. Maybe. Yes. Let me double check that it's working, because OBS sucks. It doesn't suck. I shouldn't say that. I really like OBS. I just occasionally have issues with OBS. Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, once again, where we left off, you had an interaction with the High Fae King Oberon. Learned some valuable information, both about Savas's son and about some other notable individuals within the wilds here that might be of help to you, as well as the location of the moon core within an area called the Reflection that could be a very useful pathway for you to achieve your goals. So, exiting Oberon's chambers. Is everybody ready to exit?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
Okay. So exiting the large doors. Again, his chamber was very dark as you exit out of there. It's very very bright. The entire palace is very floral and beautiful. It smells incredible. There's flowers the likes you've never really seen before growing up around the walls. There's water flowing and little waterfalls all over this palace in different places. You're in a very large hallway. There's an open balcony across from you that looks out onto the larger courtyard of the palace. What would you guys like to do?
We should seek out the sun.
Agreed.
So the guard captain is there alongside. If you have any questions for them, they are standing very stoically right next to the doors of the chambers to Oberon's area. Or you can move about.
Spell the son's name.
Yes. It is this. I believe he mentioned that he was located within the glades here in the palace. So what's your next move, guys?
Go to the glades.
He also said that we can speak to the guards and they would bring us to him.
Yes.
Are they gonna escort us over there? Or are they just gonna... Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Take us there.
Let's ask the guard captain if he can take us to Vicarian.
Do you, Lizzie?
Yeah.
Okay. So turning around, the guard acknowledges you, gives a nod. You wish to travel now?
Unless there's anything else someone would like to do before we go. I think we're ready to go.
Yep.
Guard nods.
Yeah.
Gives a clack of their spear, and from down the hall, two other Fey Guardians move up and take position along both sides of the door. The Guardian begins to walk off, gestures for you to follow to the right-hand side of the chamber.
I'll follow.
Following along, you move through this large hallway, which sort of moves around a circular section of the palace. After a moment, the guard stops, looks about on both sides, and stands at an intersection waiting for some other individuals to pass by. They look like dryads. They are very sort of mystical in nature. They've got glows to them. As they travel past, butterflies follow them, multiple colors. The guards seem to eyeball them very closely and patiently wait for them to get out of eyesight. Once they're sure that the area is clear, they step back and press the tip of their spear into the wall, which slowly expands, opening up a very small archway with a staircase that goes down into what would appear a sort of darker chamber. The guard then stands aside and motions for you all to enter.
Follow.
Yep.
Excuse
I'll go
me?
inside.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody moving downstairs?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as you enter, as the last one of you enters, the archway itself closes behind you, and you can see that guard captain sort of turn and have their back to the archway, apparently standing guard on the outside.
How dark is dark?
Dim light.
Okay.
But you move down the staircase. It's very narrow. You can only really single file move down the staircase. As you start to reach the bottom, you see sort of a blue glow. There's very faint light, and it looks like you're entering almost into a forest as you reach the bottom of the stairs. There's a very, very low level of water, less than an inch, seems to encompass the entire area. The area itself is covered in trees, and it's very misty, like vision is very obscured. But off in the distance, you can see a male sitting cross-legged in the water with a book he's writing into, and there are multiple creatures surrounding him. They seem drawn to him. I'm going to pop the image to the chat for you. Sort of nestled into this glade. Looking up, the sky itself, it almost seems like you are outside. It's this beautiful night sky. Doesn't resemble the sky that you've seen in Theros. It looks very different, very alien. You're not sure why, but something about it is just off. Similarly to sort of how you feel about this glade in its entirety, everything sort of seems off here.
How far away is he?
About 100 feet away, just sitting on his own. Seems to be writing.
All right. Start moving forward.
Do you all just want to straight approach him?
Yes.
Okay. As you do, there's several birds that are sort of flying about and landing on his shoulders and moving off into the trees. As you get within about 60 feet or so, all of them sort of take notice to you and begin to sort of circle you. They fly towards you, circling within 5 or 10 feet. Not really aggressively, just seemingly they take notice of you, and they're chirping and making sort of louder noises as you approach. The young man looks up from his writing, sets the feather down, which sort of recedes into the pages of the book. He closes the book and sets it down against a tree off to his right-hand side, and the book itself sort of fades into the tree, gets pulled within, and disappears. And he stands and awaits your approach.
Get to about 40, 30 feet, speaking, not yelling distance, and say we're looking for Vicarion. Would you be him?
He nods and gives a small smile. He approaches and extends his hand. Says, yes, I am Vicarion. I
I'll shake
don't
his hand.
often get visitors down here. Not many know of my presence. Who sent you?
Oberon.
Interesting. And I assume you're here for a reason?
Yes. Can I kind of look amongst the others and say we were a part of a crew that was supposedly captained by Savas, your father.
I
But
believe that's quite impossible.
yes, that's what Oberon said. So we're not quite sure what the truth is anymore.
Unless you're quite older than you look.
Well, our souls are.
He gestures over to there's a couple deer along the sides that have those blue runes sort of glowing amongst their bodies in different places. He gestures to them and sort of lifts his fingers and they approach all of you and sort of just start sniffing at you. Anybody want to resist this, or you just allow it?
I want to put my hand out and try to touch their snout.
Okay.
Like I'm trying to pet them.
Yeah, they welcome that and seem to enjoy it.
I too would like to pet the deer.
Yeah, literally, same.
Yeah, they very much enjoy it, and they seem, as you're doing this, they seem like they almost recognize you on a level. And just after like a minute or so, they return to Vicarian's side. He seems to exchange some sort of silent communication with them, and looks at the group of you and says, "I see. You are of the old world."
Yes. We were hoping that you could give us more information on it, as well as what happened.
I'm afraid I know very little of the old world itself, aside from the stories I've heard of the war and what I learned from my father before he passed. I know there are others within the Cape that may have more information for you. I know many are hidden here like myself, though I am not of your world.
What is the true story of your father?
He takes a few steps back and sits back down where he was, sort of writing into that book. Again, sits cross-legged and seems to sort of drift away for a moment, like he's has a little difficulty remembering these things. I didn't know my father very well, unfortunately, but I suppose I can tell you the story of how things happened if it would help you. Are you?
Yes, that'd be very helpful.
Are you familiar with my mother?
Mel?
Yes.
That is another person that we've been with someone who claims they are them.
Interesting. Where did you encounter my mother?
Initially in a city called Neolanton.
Recently.
Yes.
Very recently.
He looks a little worried at the mention of it. My mother, a very long time ago, after the Great War between your people and the gods of Theros, was a champion of Heliod. He apparently enjoyed her very much. She fought for him, both in the war and in the times after. But Heliod, from what I understand, grew quite angry and aggressive, and she began to fear him. She was friends with my father. They had known each other from the war, both of them being demigods. They spent time together on the Nyx plane as well. So Bel sought to escape Heliod and sought out my father, Savas, to do so. My father had been gifted a vessel after the war by Erebos himself that allowed him to travel between planes within Theros. It was an easy way to get in and out of Nyx. So my mother contacted him, and they used the vessel to very quickly, under cover of distraction they provided, somewhere along the Nyx plane between Iroas and Mogus. Savas collected my mother, and they both escaped and hid within the world of Theros for quite some time. Over time, they fell in love, and I was born. Unfortunately, on the day of my birth, a friend of theirs had sold them out, and Heliod had sent his champions. My mother begged Savas to take me and hide me, and so he accepted. And she stayed behind to fend off Heliod's champions and distract the god. So Savas left with me, and my mother fought off all of these champions, slew them one by one before Heliod himself, in a jealous rage, murdered her. Savas took me. Apparently, he had had some dealings with Oberon in the past, and he made a pact with Oberon and his son, the prince, to hide me. I don't really know what that deal was. Oberon has never been very forward or open about the details, but he has kept me hidden and protected here, but I am not allowed to leave. But after my father made this pact and left me behind, he returned to find that Heliod had left the body of my mother there to mock him almost, and I believe also to bait him. Savas then, in anger, built an army, a small army, friends and allies that he'd formed over his time, and invaded Nyx. During this invasion, he was interrupted by his father Keranos, who had apparently struck some form of deal with Heliod, and Savas was struck down by his father and banished to the underworld, where his soul was entombed somewhere by Erebos secretly. Beyond that, I've never heard anything of him.
Well,
So you see, if you have encountered somebody claiming to be my father, I don't believe they were quite honest.
But why would someone pretend to be your father and actually that also holds a grudge against Karanas and claiming to be going against to save you as well? Because if I recall correctly, Savas and Bell were worried that you were being held hostage or something about from
So,
Karanas. Is that correct?
out of character, it was
it wasn't. It
a
was the daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, daughter. Okay, my bad.
Their claims
Well-
were that a daughter of theirs was hidden behind the seal in that other world, sort of imprisoned there, away from them as punishment.
Well, anyways, it seems like a really plausible reason to believe that he actually is Savas, but maybe their memories are just confused or something.
The part that has me confused is, sure, maybe someone is lying about Savas for his reputation. You know, he's this mythical captain. But why would someone that we encountered completely by chance also lie about being Belle?
Vicarian stands up and sort of steps back and begins to pace silently between the trees. I'm sorry, I wish I had more information for you, but I don't believe these individuals could be my parents. I can't verify that in any way. If they did somehow find a means to escape the underworld, I would assume they would have come for me first. But as you say, perhaps their memories were damaged. But from what I understand and what I have been told by Oberon, there's no way that they could have returned.
Well, we did, so why couldn't they do? Perhaps they're just holding on to a fragment of a memory.
Your souls are different somehow. I can sense it. In my birth, both of my parents being demigods themselves, I acquired some ability. I believe my abilities are a hybrid of both of theirs. But from my mother, I believe I inherited a sense I can feel the people that I know or that I've met. I can find them. I know where they are, be it Theros, be it Underworld, be it Nyx. I can locate them very easily. And I felt when my father died, even though I was quite small. I have not felt him since, nor my mother.
They possibly be a part of them or some alternate. I find it hard to believe that they're just a complete imposter. I feel like there's some connection.
You said
Maybe Erebos is holding on to their souls or something, and they're just like the physical bodies with some fragment of memories. Maybe that's why you can't sense them.
or something is shielding them from me. I don't know.
Were you already in this room when your father died? I know that you were very small,
I was.
so you.
He died
Okay.
when I was about 2. He waged war in Nyx for quite some time. But time in the God plane is different,
You never
as it
thought
is
about
different here.
leaving this place?
According to Oberon, it was my father's wish that I remain here, or the gods would seek and destroy me.
Which is very plausible. They're
Mm-hmm.
currently seeking us.
He steps back. He's still very deep in thought. What are you guys thinking?
I mean, we were just with Savaz like 1 day ago.
Yeah.
Well, we were with
Fighting.
that person who
Fighting.
said that they were Savas.
Yeah, and we were fighting Karanos. I mean, we were attempting to fight Karanos. It wasn't going very well. But what if you... Is there a way we can... What do we do now? Do we go back there?
Well, we try to get more information, for sure. The gift from Erebos to your father was the Theros?
Yes. A reformation of a creature that he bonded with in his time before and during the war.
And what was this creature like?
I've only heard stories. It was, I believe, the product of a Titan before they were sealed away. The only thing of its kind. But it was heavily wounded in the war. And as a gift, Erebos healed the creature and reformed it into the vessel that my father then used against them.
What happened to the Theros after your father died? Do you have any idea?
No, I'm sorry, I don't.
That's the other thing. This person who is claiming to be Savas also has the Thesaurus.
That's strange. From what I understand of the Thesaurus, it would only answer to my father.
Which makes us believe that this person is in some way your father.
You said you were a part of a crew.
Yes.
Yes.
And you said you were fighting with my father?
Mm-hmm.
To what end?
We
This person wished to break the seal on the other world.
That was a wish of my father as well.
And it remains our current goal.
Well, that makes sense why Oberon would give you information about me. I believe that is something he also seeks.
So if that's in line with your father's wishes, at the very least, this Savast doesn't seem to have terribly nefarious intents.
And it was just him and my
there
mother, you said?
was. Mm-hmm.
And another.
And his name was Isengiri, and he is also from the old world.
Isengiri. I know this name. I believe an Isengiri was somehow a comrade of somebody that lives within the Cape, named Aikilo. She is of the other world and retained all of her memories.
I want to talk to this person then.
Yes, we're planning on connecting with Aquila later. So that's also encouraging. But yes, this Isangiri seemed to have restored the memories of both Savas and Bell.
Yet they never mentioned me.
Only a
They
daughter.
mentioned a daughter, no mention of a son.
I
Do you
believe.
know? I assume you don't have any siblings that you know of.
No. As far as I'm aware, there is only me. But as I was hidden away, when you say this individual restored their memory, maybe he planted a false memory.
Or maybe their memories were tampered with before they died.
If their memory were restored, they would know of me.
Aquila will hopefully have more information on Isangiri then. That potentially raises concerns with our own memories, though at the very least,
Correct.
we've had others confirm that we are of the old world.
You are of the old world. I can feel it on you. He gestures to the deer and some of the other creatures. These creatures, they can sense as well.
So what now?
I can't tell you who to trust at this point. But I suppose I trust you enough. My mother was also a demigod. Her father was
Didn't.
Oberon.
Uh,
And her
Oh.
mother.
Wait,
Well,
what?
Oberon is my grandfather. And my grandmother is Clothis.
Well,
Which one's Clavis again?
The
the one that
goddess,
created Harmony's sword.
the goddess of fate. Yeah, you encountered her fighting Erebos
Yes. Okay.
in the sea.
I don't think Belle or anyone has ever mentioned that she was a demigod.
Yeah, I
Or
don't
did
think
I
that's
miss
ever
that part?
been brought up at all.
Yeah, up until now.
I mean, I don't think that's something that anybody would just advertise.
Yeah,
I mean-
it's not like we ever asked.
I mean, we all knew Savaz was one. But yeah.
I have a feeling the Belle that we met didn't know.
Exactly. It felt like she thought that she was human.
I mean, we could always just find a way to get back there after we find all the questions or the answers that we're looking for here, and ask Savas and Bell themselves.
If
Try
they
to
If
trigger
you're
a
survive.
still
memory or
alive.
something like that. Yeah, or you could come with us. Maybe if they see you.
No, I cannot leave this glade. I will not.
Even knowing that there's a possibility that you meet your father and mother again.
Their wishes was that I stay hidden and protected. And
Well, that was a long time ago, my friend.
he turns around
Things
again and
change.
seems in thought. I can't leave. My grandfather would never allow it.
All right. Is there anything that you could give us that that if we gave it to them or showed them would trigger a memory of you,
No, I don't believe so.
or like a proof that you are still here, still alive, or that they could remember you?
No, I was delivered here as a baby. I have nothing.
All right, so no further information on who this other Savas and Bell were. Isangiri is potentially holding out on us. We'll maybe eventually find out if any of them are still alive after Heliod attacked us. The Theros is still startlingly confusing. In addition to the supposed split souls, part of this person's story was that they had separated part of themselves to leave the underworld. They had left behind their anger, their sadness, their regrets, everything negative they had left behind in the underworld, taking everything positive to Theros. And this included Savas, Bel, and the Tezaris itself. We have seen 2 Tezarises.
2. I don't believe that's possible.
The one that we were part of on the crew in Theros, and then the one that we were on when we were transported into Neurono. They looked the same for all intents and purposes, except for the one in Neurono was decayed beyond anything that could have happened in Theros.
The Tezaris, I believe, was banished to the underworld with my father. So if there is one of the 2 that is at least authentic, it would be that.
Someone made a damn good replica.
We were told that the Tezaris was also split in 2 as well. And we were going to try to reunite the Tezaris from Theros with the Tezaris currently locked in the underworld.
To my understanding, this is not possible, but again, my knowledge is just from books and studies and individuals I've met here in the wilds, and from my grandfather himself. There was another child of Clothis. I don't know
Yes.
much about him. My grandfather told me his name, Zane.
Oh,
That's
he,
that's the original first mate, right?
yep. That was the first mate of the Tezaris that we were a part of. And, he disappeared. Replaced by Isangiri.
I think he died, but his soul is in the underworld.
Does your gift allow you to know where in the underworld?
It's a dangerous place for me to reach, but allow me to try. He steps back, sort of gets back cross-legged into the waters and reaches his hands down, so his hands are submerged. His eyes begin to glow that same sort of blue that you see on the runes of his deer. For a moment, his eyes change from like a blue to that Erebos purple, and he sort of clenches and stiffens up very very quickly, and he seems to fight it off, and it restores to the blue. He says in a much more pained tone, I feel him. He's imprisoned within the palace of Erebos. He's in a cell alone. He's under
Oh.
certain protections. I don't believe his mother knows. His eyes start to glow that same purple again, and he immediately pulls his hands from the water and stumbles backwards. I don't believe I was sensed. But
Thank you.
Erebos has a great power there.
We appreciate you taking that risk.
I could not feel the souls of my father or my mother.
Hmm.
Thoughts?
If they had died, one would presume they would be somewhere in the underworld. So
And if they're
perhaps,
not there, where would they be?
or he is being shielded in some way.
I'm sorry, I wish I could help you more, but I would like to know more about this. If it involves my father and my mother.
Is there a way that we can communicate with you?
Not safely, no, I'm sorry. Beyond anything, my grandfather would not allow any form of communication. I'm honestly astounded that he allowed you to meet with me in the first place.
Well, if we make it through all of this, I believe Harmony has a home here. Maybe she can pay you a visit and update you.
He looks to Harmony. You are of the wild.
Yes.
And you know my grandfather.
Sadly.
I understand. Know that he's simply very old. He, I believe, is a good person underneath his hardened exterior. He has always been very kind to me, as long as I don't overstep. What do you guys think?
Ah. It doesn't feel right that he's basically imprisoned here. I don't like it.
Can I do an insight on if he seems okay with his situation?
Sure.
8.
Seems fine.
He said he was fine.
Anybody else? Thoughts?
Are we gonna talk to the other person?
Oh,
Yeah,
for
we
sure.
need to talk to
Oh,
Akira
yeah.
next.
So what are y'all thinking?
Well, if no one else has any questions,
Yep.
Ulrich would speak up at this point.
Okay.
He's been in thought for that whole conversation. Could one split the soul of a demigod?
I
Have two halves.
have never heard of a soul being split at all, though Aikilo mentioned of the Otherworlders when the battle finished. The gods combined their power to shatter their souls, and fragments of their souls were scattered along the timeline, emerging at different times in Theros' history. I believe Aikilo and her master Isengiri collected them and brought them here for safety, keeping them hidden. That's the only time I've ever heard of a soul being split, but their souls were split violently into so many pieces that their memories were mostly, if not entirely, lost.
So if anyone has the power to do it, it would be a god.
Yes,
And you're part god.
I am.
So why don't you just do it?
I don't have that kind of power.
Whose soul would he split?
His own.
I don't have that kind of power. I am but a child of a god. Though I have bits of their lineage throughout my own, I don't have all of their power. I have bits and pieces, small fragments that were passed down to me. My powers are quite limited.
And you said Clothis had a daughter imprisoned in the underworld, right?
A son.
A son.
A son? Okay.
That was Zane, Pharaoh.
Right, Zane.
Yep.
Okay.
Her daughter was Belle.
Her daughter was Belle. Right.
Well, I think we have a lot of questions for Kilo when we can find them.
Yes.
Each person we talk to, we get more questions than
more
answers.
questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, more
Say
questions,
the
less
same
answers.
thing.
You can generally find Aikilo at the lab room.
The library in the palace?
No, the lab room in Cape Stagheart, outside in the city.
Okay. We will look there. Thank you for all of your information and assistance.
Yes, it was very nice to meet all of you. Honestly, I don't have many visitors. It's been many, many, many years since I've seen anybody aside from an individual or two from the Cape like Aikilo. The guards aren't even allowed down here.
It's certainly impressive we were let in then. Although I think Oberon truly just wanted us to leave.
Don't be too hard on him. He has a lot on his plate. Believe it or not, I believe he does care for your kind, those of the old world.
It's got a funny way of showing it.
Again, he is quite old and has reservations of his own. He's seen quite some interesting events over time, and I believe the death of his son recently may have impacted him more than he reveals.
It's not an easy thing by any means.
It's
Shall
quite frightening.
we?
We've not had a
Shall
death
we?
here, at least within this palace or within the Cape, for hundreds of years. Especially not one of royalty.
Do people not die in the wilds?
Many creatures here are quite ageless, though some arrive in the wilds and do expire. Many creatures amongst the Fae live very, very long lives.
Where do they go when they die? I mean, we go to the underworld.
Many creatures here do not pass on to the underworld. Should they perish above in Theros, their souls will travel there, but if you die here in the wilds, you do not.
So what happens to those who die here?
And that would be more of a question for my grandfather. I know very little on the subject. The wilds are quite chaotic. I do enjoy them, and I enjoy the creatures here. And he sort of gestures to the deer and some other of the birds and such that seem to surround him. I've made quite the relationship with them, and I have enjoyed my time and the individuals that I have met here, despite the, call it, unfortunate, chaotic nature of their behavior. But as far
Well,
as if there's a beyond, I do not know what would happen here within the wilds. Any other questions or thoughts? Do you want to discuss anything amongst yourselves before you leave Vicarian?
Nothing from me.
I can't
Yeah.
think of anything.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Did you say something, Glassy? You kind of got distorted there, or I didn't hear it. Oh, hello, Glassy. Have we lost Glassy? Oh, it's me.
Got sick of hearing my
Oh.
voice.
There we go. No, it was me. My Discord was acting up. I lost all you guys for a minute.
Specifically against Glossy.
Yeah. Well, it happened while Glassy was talking. Okay. But yeah, so I missed anything you might have said in the last 10 or 15 seconds.
It's just Otto.
What's up,
I had
Otto?
a question, yeah. Since you can reach out to these other planes and find people, you wouldn't be able to take us somewhere. You can just not physically reach to these places, right?
No, I cannot physically transport you. I'm sorry. If there's anybody you're looking for, something you need, I might be able to assist with that. But I can't transport you anywhere.
You-
One second, Discord's acting up again. If you can hear me, I'm going to disconnect and restart Discord really quick, guys. 1 second.
of an answer.
Uh, Discord was being really shitty with me, so I just restarted it. Sorry. I again.
Is it work? Is it good now?
Yeah, for now. I don't know why it's being weird, but it is Discord. So, so what were you saying, Otto? I missed the entirety of whatever your next
Well,
question was.
if you cannot reach out to Savas or Bell, could you try to find the gods, Heliod and Keranos?
No, I dare not try to locate them. They would sense me immediately.
Could they do something to you even if they sensed you?
They would be aware
Could
of
they
my
harm
existence,
you?
and they would send, I believe, their champions as they did with Oberon's son.
What about you have to have met them to locate them?
Yes, or at least I can try if you have something of theirs or have knowledge of them that you could give to me, a description, but it is much more difficult. Oh, can you hear me? What is going on? 1 second.
I thought
Discord is going to drive me insane. Okay.
Man, we are really hitting the pressure points now, huh?
Yeah.
We're asking the good questions now.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's just Discord. Like everything else is running fine. Like OBS and the stream is up perfectly fine. My connection's through the roof, so I don't know why Discord's cutting out.
Secretly Burns needing the extra time to think of an answer.
Yes, this is
Advanced
just
stalling
me playing
tactics.
That's not a bad
Also,
idea.
wasn't the little mascots we have over there as well? Did they come with us?
The what?
I mean, the
what?
one that was inside the skull all the time, and Dead Rolls, I think it was. Wasn't they?
Dead Rose is
Weren't
with
they
you.
there as well? Oh, they are with us. I'm
Dead Rose
sorry.
is
That
Dead Rose
I
is
thought
with you.
Nieces murdered the other one.
no, he got lost. He got drunk and he wandered away.
Oh my gosh. Well, you do have the skull. Could try to find Ilio.
There were other crewmates over there, weren't there? On the ship.
Yeah, there was a lot of other crewmates aboard the Theros.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with Isangiri. Would you be
Yeah.
able to try and locate him?
I do believe him. Well, one moment. He goes back and he reaches and presses his palm to that tree, and that book that he was writing into reemerges from the tree. It sort of just grows itself out of the roots, and he collects the book and he starts flipping through the pages.
What is that?
My journal. I write stories in here, and I record things that I've encountered and people that I've met. Things people have told me. I do a little bit of artwork. I have some of my sketches in here. I keep it close with me, or I protect it here within the glade. I see. He flips over. Here it is. Here it is. Isangiri. I can attempt to locate him. He places the book back down in front of the tree and again goes into his more cross-legged position in the water and places his hands back in the water and his eyes glow that blue once again. Just after a few moments, he's clearly channeling and attempting to locate. He sort of twitches a couple times, turns his head slowly. I cannot sense him anywhere.
Does that mean he's dead?
He's gone. Simply gone. His soul was of the other world. If I don't know what would happen if he was killed. But I don't sense him anywhere.
I have a feeling there's a non-zero chance he's the source of whatever is shielding the others, as well as himself.
Very possible.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe it's not nefarious. Maybe it's just a protection against the gods in general.
But hey, you did mention that the Tyzeres was a creature, right?
It was.
So, could you locate that?
It was destroyed recently. I can feel what remains of its soul.
Recently? Like
Yes.
very recently?
Very recently.
Like yesterday recently?
I can't tell you exactly, but I'd say days ago. Maybe weeks, but
Oh, time flows weird here, doesn't it?
It does.
All right.
The
It's the
Theros,
multiverse.
it's what's left of its soul was fragmented. I believe it was destroyed by a god.
Well, that tracks with. That's the first thing that really follows our timeline. Is that it likely would have been destroyed when it's right after we left?
But the Theros you knew was the one that was trapped in the underworld, wasn't it?
I believe so.
The one we were on
Supposedly.
was not in the underworld.
So somehow the one from the underworld got to Theros.
At this point, he pulls out of his trance and his eyes go back to normal. So I'm sorry, it takes a bit out of me.
We
He
appreciate you humoring us.
he stands back up and collects his journal and pulls the quill from the side of it and begins to jot things down. Anything else for Vicarian? Anything would you like to discuss what you just learned? Any ideas, thoughts? No.
Yes? No? Maybe?
No.
No.
I don't
I would appreciate an
know.
answer.
uh,
I wish I had a good thought about it.
Yeah. Be curious to know what happened to the one that we were on. Which very well just could have been a plain, boring old ship.
Well,
Can
Hmm.
can you tell the difference between souls? Like between a god soul, say, and a mortal soul? Or
yes, I can.
then what could you tell what kind of soul the ship's soul was?
It was not
Was it
mortal.
from
It's like I said, I believe from what I was told, it was the child of a Titan, maybe the only of its kind. Their power was different. They weren't quite gods. They weren't quite mortal. They were something else. In any case, from what I felt, it is no longer in Theros or the underworld. It is gone.
Well, thank you for that information as well.
I wish I could help you more.
I think this has been quite helpful, and I think we'll be even more informed after speaking with the Kilo.
Akilo can definitely give you information on the other world and maybe a bit more of its past. I know she retained most, if not all, of her memories. Where will your travels take you from here?
Well, I believe at the moment we're looking for armaments that will be potent against the gods before we move into Erebos's palace.
I know not of such things. I know my parents bore weapons that could harm the gods. I don't know anything about these weapons or their locations, unfortunately. Perhaps Aikilo could help you.
Yes. Unless anybody has anything else they want to do, shall we go seek her?
Yes.
Yes.
Very well. Well, I'm glad that I met you. I hope in the future we will meet again. I wish you luck on whatever path your journey takes you along.
All right, let's
You
leave.
guys are quiet tonight. Yeah, waking us
Yeah.
up.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot to think about.
There's a lot to think about.
None of it makes sense.
Well, if you'd like, you can exit the way you came in.
Yep.
Unless you have anything parting for Vicarian.
I'd like to pet a deer on the way out.
You sure can.
I want to ask him if we find your parents and their memories were tampered with, would you like us to try to remind them who you are and where you are? Or would you rather stay in the Feywild?
I believe it would be dangerous if their minds were tampered with. Maybe whatever tampered with them, it clearly doesn't know of me, and I don't believe it should. So if you can restore their memory and they remember me, then please send them to me, and you can tell them then that you met me. But I believe something much more nefarious is at play.
All right.
We'll say goodbye and leave.
Vicarian nods. He smiles to all of you. He seems very much enjoyed this. You can clearly see it in his eyes that he really doesn't get to speak to anybody, maybe ever.
Poor guy.
But as you leave, he seems to be a little lost in thought and memory, and he goes to sit back down in the waters, and the deer go and they sort of kneel down and lay down along with him and console him, and some of those birds go and land on him as well. He seems to have a very good relationship with the creatures here in this glade.
Before Harmony leaves, she's gonna let him know that if he ever does decide to actually grow some balls and leave, to seek out Bluff at her court, and he can give him a job.
Okay. He you put it just like that? If you ever grow some balls?
Yeah.
Okay. He grimaces a little bit at the statement, but he inevitably gives you sort of a half smile. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. And with that, you all leave.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then Harmony's gonna be like, "Bye, cousin," and leaves.
He snaps to, looks a little shocked at that statement. But
Good.
you all just climb back up the stairs. As you reach the top, the archway is sealed still.
Reach up and touch it.
As you do, you hear sort of a clatter on the other side, and again, more of a tink of something striking the wall, and it does open up. The guard commander is out there as well, spear in hand, clocks it on the ground, and beckons for you to move.
I shall move.
Yep.
Everybody pass through?
Mhm.
Okay. The captain, as you move through, immediately reseals the passageway and begins to move off back towards Oberon's chambers without really acknowledging you at all.
I kind of want to keep note of what the path was to get there.
Okay.
And
You seem to have been left guideless here in the palace. At least the guard commander has started to walk off.
all right, I think we should find a kilo.
Is that the one that was in the marketplace or the other one?
The lab room.
It's the other one.
The marketplace was Amila, who
Okay.
I believe Oberon advised could assist you in getting some weapons.
Okay, that's.
So within the palace, would you like to leave the palace? Is there anything else you would like to do here?
I would like to leave, but I will not stop anybody from saying they want to explore.
I'm also leaving.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
also
I've
like
got
to
nothing to
leave.
do in here.
Yep.
I mean, we could go and slip Oberon.
You have fun with that.
Harmony would.
All right, let's head out.
Okay.
Weapons or info?
I think info first, weapons after.
Let's go to the library.
Okay. So you exit back out from the palace the way you came in. You pass by Oberon's chambers. As you do so, the guard commander from previous has replaced the two individuals that were there and is sort of just standing guard at the door. Doesn't acknowledge you at all, doesn't make eye contact as you pass by. But you exit back out. You continue down through the lower palace area across the bridge, which I believe I mentioned. I think I threw the artwork up, above for the palace itself. Again, surrounding the palace seems like a just massive chasm. And you sort of cross a bridge leading back into Cape Stagheart itself. Harmony, again, you have some memory of moving about Cape Stagheart. Would you like to guide the party to the Labrum?
Sure.
Because your goal is to meet with Aikilo, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's gonna take him the longest route.
Longest route. Okay.
Yeah.
So you travel through the cape, leaving the palace. It again becomes much darker. There's a lot of tree cover over the cape itself in the central areas that are closer to the entryway to the palace. Harmony leads you to the right as you leave the bridge to the palace through an area that is also very overgrown. There is very bright, beautiful light that shines through in certain areas. For a moment, it seems like Harmony is leading you in circles. You take a couple left turns, a little too many. It seems like you're going in a circle. Then you take a right turn and another right turn. You feel like you passed a couple of the structures here that you've seen. It's like maybe this is the second or third time you're seeing them now.
I I would like to roll perception to see if Harmony knows where she's going.
Okay. You can do that in Harmony. Roll deception, but DM me your rolls. Don't call them out.
Okay.
Okay, and Harmony. What do you mean? Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, seems like Harmony knows exactly where she's going.
Okay. All right. Uh-huh.
You travel on another few minutes, and you reach the area of the cave that you know to be like the area that you entered on. You see the staircase sort of leading up and out of the cape. Definitely recognize this as the place you came in, where Harmony abruptly turns around, goes back the way you came, and makes a left. At this point, you're in another darker area, but you do, after another 2 or 3 minutes of walking through the city, you've gotten quite the scenic walk of Cape Stagheart at this point. You pass through the marketplace, which is the image here, and you come upon, Harmony, you do come upon finally the Labrum, which is a tall structure seemingly carved out of a tree itself. It goes up maybe 6 or 7 stories, beautiful lanterns hanging off the edges. You're all a little parched from that walk.
It sure took a longer time than the last time we just walked from this place to the castle.
The door won't open unless you go that route.
Uh-huh. Actually, before we go in, I would like to apologize, and two, I would like to ask Dead Rose what he thinks of all this.
Dead Rose has sort of also just been like taking things in. He gets his thoughts about him as you're moving along through the streets as you reach the library. As well, unfortunately, my memories are flawed as well. I trust that boy? Question mark. I believe he's much older than he appears, but I do trust him. He seemed trustworthy.
I agree with that. He seemed genuine.
I don't
In
know. Go ahead.
your time on the Theros, you said that you never really saw Savas, correct?
Not for many, many years. I was sealed away for quite some time with that despicable creature.
And so we found you on the one in the underworld. So it's very likely you were never on the one that we were on.
I don't believe I was at all. No. Anything else? Or would you like to enter the lab room?
I think we can enter.
Okay. Dead Rose is sort of just on your shoulder, Lizzie, at this point. It's always sort of his position unless things change for
Okay.
whatever reason. So everybody moving into the lab room?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So as you enter, there's a lot of very strange creatures. Harmony, you sort of remember these creatures. You know them to be keepers of sort. They don't really speak or have a language of their own, but they understand things that are said to them and they carry out tasks around the library. They're almost insect-like in nature. They're very green and seem to be made almost entirely of plants. I'm going to give you some images for these creatures here. But there's a good number of them sort of scurrying about the librum. Many of them are carrying big stacks of books that seem way too heavy. They're about a foot tall or so. Some of them a little taller, some a little smaller. But they're scrambling about. The interior of the librum, you can see straight up from the bottom floor to the top of what is essentially a large tower. There's staircases on both sides of you that travel up and take you to the higher floors of the librum. The interior space of this structure seems much larger than it would appear from the outside. There are areas that go off to the left, that go off to the right, filled with bookshelves and books of all kinds. The interior itself feels very ancient. It's very wood. It's like you've literally walked into the interior of a tree. But it obviously is enchanted somehow and is filled with a number of fake creatures as well that are sort of moving about in different areas. Harmony, you recognize some pixies and fairies traveling about, fluttering from place to place, flying up towards the upper sections of the lab room. There are some individuals that are just sat quietly reading. What would you guys like to do here within the lab room?
Does it look like there's any I don't say, yeah, people. Does it look like there's any people or critters that work here aside from the little green guys?
As far as work here, just the little green critters. Harmony, you'd be aware that they are the only sort of employees, if you will. They run this place.
They're the keepers of the books.
Yes.
All right, so we're looking for a kilo that we have gotten no visual information on.
Yeah, you never did ask for a description or anything.
Oh, we could ask just by name.
Sure. Yeah, you can ask around.
Yeah, can we ask one of the little creatures to take us to Aikilo if they're here?
Yeah. Yep. So
I'm gonna
find the
attempt
first
to
one you
do
see.
that. Yeah.
Okay. There's one that's skittering past very quickly, stops, like almost skids to his stops, and turns around, looks up at you, makes a couple weird little noise like pom 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 pom.
Excellent.
Unfortunately, we're not from here and we don't quite understand. Are you able to actually bring us to her?
Pom 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 pom.
We'll take that as a no.
It turns around and begins running in a direction towards the staircase.
Harmony's just gonna follow it.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Let's follow
Yeah.
it.
Would've been a yeah.
So it moves
We're
pretty
about to
quickly.
go-
You all have to like sort of get into a light jog to move up the stairs. But you move up the stairs very quickly. This thing sort of hops up onto the banister, runs along the banister, goes up 2 or 3 flights. On the third story, hops off the banister. At this point, you're all like huffing and puffing, trying to keep up. Disappears
Harmony's just fine though, so she's
disappears
stairs
into
for
a
Harmony.
hallway that's very dark. You sort of lose sight of the creature for a second as you stop at the end of this hallway. You hear maybe 30 feet off or so the creature sort of almost shouting at you, "Pop! Pop! Pop! Pop!"
I'll follow it.
Yeah.
Approach it.
So moving into the darkness, there is everything here seems like unfriendly. Like these books all have sort of like darker vibes to them. Everything along these shelves, like you get the sense this is like a dark magic sort of a place. Like everything feels unnatural and weird and off. About halfway through the hallway, there's a very dark-skinned woman sitting with 2 very vile-looking, sort of half dog, half creature individuals with glowing red eyes, sort of in these empty sockets. I'm going to give you the image of what you're looking at. She's sitting there by herself, reading a very large tome that's sort of glowing with red runes.
I'll approach her and say, "Excuse me, would you be a kilo?"
The woman looks up very slowly from her book. The 2 creatures move about as if encircling you. One moves off to the right, one moves off to the left. She has a very dark-looking blade at her waist, and she slowly moves her hand to the hilt and grips the hilt of the weapon. Sort of glares at you for a moment. "You dare speak to me?"
Oh man, I thought she was gonna be more friendly than that.
Do I see the tiny creature anywhere around her?
Roll perception.
Okay. 19.
No, you don't see him anywhere. You assume he might have gone further into the hall. The red-eyed creatures are sort of slowly starting to get closer to you guys in sort of flanking positions.
Oh, I love this. I apologize if you were not her.
"You
We
dare
mean it.
continue to speak." She pulls her blade.
No harm.
It sort of has this like black mist about it. It looks very dangerous.
Harmony's gonna pull out her blade.
Does it look like Savas's sword at all?
No, it is very different.
Okay.
Off in the distance, you hear again, "Pop! Pop! 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 Pop!"
Lazuli's gonna sigh and just walk away.
Ma'am, this is a library. I'm gonna ask you all to be a little bit more quiet.
I'm gonna grab Otto on the way.
Dragging
him.
But Harmony literally pulled out her weapon.
Yeah,
Are
you
you
can
gonna-
keep doing whatever you're doing.
Oh, okay.
Lazuli is walking away, dragging Otto.
Anybody else? So Harmony, you're-
Wolfrings will be standing there very nervously. We were told you could give us information.
you were lied.
I'm gonna like.
god.
Yeah, Macy's is also gonna walk away at this point.
It keeps getting better.
The two creatures are sort of beginning to enclose. Obrek, you're pretty much the only one left here with Harmony.
Oh, yeah.
As you look about, you realize everybody has walked away.
Oh, this is not good.
What are you guys doing? Harmony?
Harmony's gonna summon her 9 blink dogs.
Okay.
Oh no.
So, Obrek, 9 other very demonic-looking dogs appear in your vicinity.
Miss, we mean no harm. Please stop.
Everyone else is gone at this point.
So you pull your blank dog. She immediately directs her attention to you. Those 2 red-eyed creatures, Obrek, are now focused on you. Do you mean to engage, Harmony?
Harmony is going to say, "You dare talk to the Queen of the Mist like that?"
The Queen of the Mist. Do you know what I am?
Do I care what you are?
Otto's gonna shout all the way from the back. Did your mom not tell you what
No,
you are?
You guys are gone. You guys are gone around the corner at the moment, so you don't know what's going on with Harmony and Obrek. But I need both Harmony and Obrek to roll initiative for me.
Oh no.
Oh,
Well, it was nice meeting you guys.
That is incredible.
That's just a D20, right?
D20 plus your initiative bonus. You'll have your initiative bonus separated with itself on your app at the top. To make it simple for you.
I got a 7.
Okay.
I'm very confused. How did this all happen here?
Well,
Why can I never? Oh, there it is. I have an 8.
Jesus. Okay. That's Harmony and Obrek, and okay. All right. So she immediately takes a swing at you with that comment, Harmony. The blade passes once and then twice. Both strike you, dealing 18 points of damage. Obrek, those 2 creatures both lunge at you. They swipe at you with these very dangerous-looking claws, 3-fingered, very long claws. One clacked against your armor doesn't do any damage, but the other one does catch you just a bit. It does 16 points of damage. And we're going to pause for you guys there for a moment and go back to the rest of the party. We'll come back to your encounter. The rest of the party, you hear a little bit of commotion from as you turn the corner in that hallway that you left behind. But at the same time, the little creature is there at the end of the hallway in front of a bright doorway. Reaches its arm up, pop, 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 points into the room.
Thank you.
Pop, 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 and walks off. Do you all enter?
I am gonna look around the party, see who's here.
Everybody
Yeah,
except
we're
Harmony and Obrek.
missing a few people.
I'm gonna go back to the corner and just yell, "Guys, she's over here."
Harmony and Obrek, you don't hear anything. Looking back down that corridor, it's just darkness.
Ooh, okay. Well, I don't know that, so I'm gonna go back to the door.
Otto opens the door.
It's open. You can just walk in. It's a very bright room.
Otto walks in.
Lizzie, Ashi, and Mises.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll walk in.
Okay. So entering in the room, there's a woman standing in here. It seems like it's not much of there's no books or shelves or anything in here. It looks more like a training dojo, so to speak. There are dummies scattered about. and there's a woman inside that seems to be practicing with a what looks like a sheathed blade. As she swings about, there's these beautiful pink flower petals that are expelled from her blade, and they're sort of floating around the room. There's all this runic and magical energy surrounding her as well as she's sort of casting spells and seems to be practicing of some sort.
Does she take notice of us?
She has her back to you. Seems to be very
gonna-
enthralled in her activity.
Knock on the door frame.
She stops, and immediately all of the runic energy just dissipates and fades, and the flower petals begin to slowly fall to the floor. She doesn't turn around, but she looks over her shoulder. Can I help you?
Would you be a kilo?
I am. And you are?
Oh.
We are otherworlders.
Step inside. Close the door behind you, please.
Don't we have something more urgent to deal with right now? We got our friends back there. They're in a bit of a
You have
pickle,
no
I think.
idea what's going on with them, Otto.
Oh,
That started.
but
Their encounter started after you rounded a corner. So
yeah, but things were getting ugly while we were there, weren't
Yeah.
we?
I mean, it was aggressive for sure, but you don't really know what
Okay.
happened afterwards.
They could be having tea for all you know.
Yeah, they could be sitting
I
down.
think Ulbrich is
Yeah.
good with people and he's taking care of it.
Oh man.
In any case, do you all move inside and close the door behind you?
We do have a few others that should be behind us shortly.
Yeah, would you mind if the door stays open until they get here?
If you wish to speak of this subject, the door must close.
It's the door.
Unless somebody wants to go get them, I guess we can close the door.
Yeah,
I'll
they can
get it.
knock when they get here.
I'll get it. Otto walks off to the door and just pushes the door to close it. But he doesn't walk off. He just closes the door as asked.
She
Yep.
moves over to. There's a small table along the side of this little dojo, and she sets her weapons down. She says, "Yes, I am a kilo. I have never had otherworlders approach me. Usually, I am the one approaching them and collecting them. What can I do for you?"
We're hoping that you might be able to shed some light on our situation. It's been a strange journey.
Are you here for protection? I can have you hidden with the others.
Not at the moment. I don't believe so. I think we're looking to take action.
Action.
If we can find the right resources,
What
we'd like
action
to
are you
break the
speaking of?
seal.
Break the seal. My master died trying to do this. How do you know of the seal? Do you have all of your memory?
Do we have all of it, or is it just pieces?
Pieces, yeah.
Pieces.
Obrick has not gotten any actually.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything.
Not even there. So
Not
never
even
mind.
here.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
But yeah, the rest of you've got bits and pieces, little fragments.
We have pieces.
Your master is Isangiri, isn't it?
My master was Isangiri.
How did Isangiri die?
How do you know of Isangiri?
We know someone claiming to be Isangiri.
She waves her hand, and that white runic energy passes over the doorway and seals it. This is impossible. My master was killed.
How?
He sought to destroy the seal. Was killed in doing so.
Who killed him, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know. I was not with him.
Do you know Savas?
I know of Savas. They were allies a long time ago, before Savas was killed.
We also know of someone claiming to be Savas.
She moves back over towards that table where her weapons are, and she sort of stands close to it. You claim you're of my world. Prove it.
Prove it?
What do you remember?
Lazuli will go ahead and share the fragments that they got of the war, and stop me if I don't know this, of being on the council and
Okay.
being given a task to assassinate someone, but
Okay.
failing. And give her what they know.
You were of the Alliance.
Yes.
She walks up very close to you, within a couple feet, sort of staring at you right in the eyes.
Hold eye contact.
She squints after a moment of just sort of staring at you and moves to Otto. She gets down on a knee, Otto, and does the same with you. Gets very close, just stares right into your eyes. Are you okay with this?
Otto blushes. Yeah, he blushes a little bit.
Steps up, does the same to Ashi. No resistance.
No.
Okay.
I mean, she's just standing there watching. I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah, and she just gets up within just a couple feet of you and is just staring right into
Yeah,
you.
no, that's fine.
Okay, and then the same to Miasis after a few moments.
Yep. No resistance. I'm just gonna stare back at her.
How is this possible?
How is what possible?
I watched you all get taken.
Taken?
In the old world.
No, in the great battle.
Well, from our understanding, the gods have been keeping our souls in a constant cycle of lives on Theros, with no rest into the underworld.
With no memory. Until now?
Until we met the one saying they were Isengiri, who is the one that restored our memories.
Okay, we're going to pause you guys there for a second. We go back to Harmony. So, Harmony,
Yeah.
you just took a couple swings from the blade from this woman in the hall. What would you like to do?
Harmony would like to ask her who does she think she is to attack her.
Oh, you don't retaliate?
No.
Okay. I am a guardian of the path. You dare approach me? Fairy! She says that with absolute disgust.
A guardian of what path?
She takes another swing at you with the blade. With a 22. Does another 9 points of damage to you, Harmony. She swore you some kind of coward. All of your kind are the same. Obrick, anything?
Call off your beast.
She.
Ulbrich is yeah, no, Ulbrich is not going to do anything besides that. But
Okay. Okay. Hands up. What do you?
Kind of backing away.
Okay.
To what he assumed the doorway was.
The beasts are like slowly closing on you. But she stops. She lifts a hand, and they halt. She looks to Harmony. I will give you 2 seconds to leave with your lives. 1. Do you leave?
Obrick's leaving.
Just running off.
I don't know. Like, I'm totally curious now. Like, what path is she a guardian of?
What do you want to do, Harmony? Obrick, you've ran away, correct? You've like run off.
Yes, I've gone off.
Okay, so Obrick runs off into the darkness. You lose sight of him down the hall. The beasts do just sort of let you pass. Before the second that you were given, do you want to say anything else, Harmony? Or do anything else?
I don't know, because now I'm just curious.
Okay. You just want to let her beat you up a little while, or what's your plan here?
Now I'll take a swing at her.
Okay.
She called me a coward, so I might as well take a swing at her.
You pulled your fate blade, right? The one you got from
Yeah.
Clovis. Okay.
So I roll a d20 first, right?
Yep. Do you still have the stat block the info that I gave you?
Did you ever actually give it to me?
I just told you the bonuses. I don't know if I sent you anything specific, because you really haven't spent a lot of time with it yet.
You did not send me anything, and I do not have the stats written down.
It's a +6 to hit. So you roll your d20, add 6.
Well, then I would have rolled a 6, not 16, sorry. 15 plus 6 is 21.
Okay, that's a hit. So you roll damage. The damage is going to be 3d8 plus 2 at the end of that. Write this down.
I am writing it down.
Okay. And let me know what your damage is.
11.
11? Okay.
Yeah. That was a very sad hit.
Unfortunately. So you swing down with the weapon. She attempts to block it with her blade. But as the two blades make contact, you clearly see that the contact sort of dissipates that shadow around her blade a bit and pushes back into her. And you do a bit of damage as she stumbles backwards. She sort of wipes a little bit of blood off her lip from the contact. Gives you a like really dark smirk. It's like, it's about time. Anything else there,
For
Harmony?
what? It's about time for what?
She seems to be enjoying this very much.
What are you the guardian of what gate?
Why the hell should I tell you? She takes another swing at you. This time you're able to deflect, so you repel the shot with your blade.
Oh, that's good.
Obrick, at this point, you're just going to keep running until you find something. You're sort of like running in the dark. This hallway, again, is very like unnaturally, magically dark.
Oh, okay. Then, yeah.
Just keep running?
Yep.
Okay, so you run on for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes. And you pass by for a moment. You see a little blur of movement along the wall, and you hear quickly like a pom, pom, pom.
Pom?
One of those creatures is like hanging on the wall. Sort of looked like he was running along the side of it, and it's just glaring at you.
Oberg will stop and kind of, oh, excuse me.
Pop,
Where did my companions go?
pom, pom, pop, pop.
Palm?
Pom pom.
Palm?
Pom. He hops off and runs off.
Oh, Rick will try to follow.
Right. Okay, so back to the rest of the party now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Akilo is still sort of taking you all in. You definitely get the sense that she's having difficulty trusting you at the moment, but she is starting to maybe buy that you are what you say you are. Any questions for Akilo at this point?
Oh, I don't remember the last thing she said. Did she say anything after examining us?
Just that she was curious as to how you were, like how you existed, because she saw you taken during that battle.
Right. Well, we certainly don't have any more information than you do on our circumstance, considering how new this information is to all of us. Do you know of anybody who would have wished to impersonate Isangiri?
Impersonate? No, I don't know of anybody at all. Many people did not even knew he existed. He was my master. He trained me. For a time, we collected individuals from that battle, the fragments of them that arrived within Theros. We would locate them and bring them to safety. Many of them are still here in the wilds. But we never found any of your alliance members. We assumed you were all destroyed by the gods.
Would anyone except Isangiri have that sort of power to give us back our memories?
Give you back your memories. I don't know anybody with that power. My master did not have that power. We've never been able to restore any of the memory of those we find. We just help them as much as we can and bring them peace and safety.
But the memories that we told you seem to line up with who we were, right?
Yes, I'm still a little unsure if I trust you entirely, but the things that you say are true.
I want to confirm, and I want to describe what the Isagiri we met looked like to see if that matches her memory of him.
Yes, that is my master. Or at least something parading itself as him.
Is it possible that some part of him had survived and this is some remnant of him, or...
No, I don't believe so. When we die here, we are simply gone. The seals keep us disconnected from our world and our own afterlife, and we do not travel to the underworld.
Everyone we talk to, we just get more questions.
I can give you what information I can. I can assist you if you have questions, but from what you're saying, this is very strange. But you say you mean to destroy the seal.
Yes, if we can. I don't believe we have the power to at the moment, but we're looking into that as well.
It is very dangerous, but if you were of the old pact, then I believe you all have the power to do it. Maybe the only ones who do.
And why is that?
This seal was crafted by the great betrayer, the Silver Celestial. He was the leader of your pact.
And he betrayed everyone.
He betrayed everyone. He
What
sealed.
did he get out of it?
I don't know. After the battle, I've never seen him again. But he sealed our world, sealed the rift, cut us off from our strength. The only ones believed to still have any remnant of that strength was the Pact of Kyoda, your alliance. And that is why the gods took you and sealed you away.
Can you spell that real fast?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I will type it up into Discord. There we go. You said there are more of you. There were
There are 2 more that we know of.
10 originally in the alliance.
So that means we have what, 7? How many? There's 6 of us?
There's 6 of us, so that means there's 4 others out there.
These things you've told me, this is all you remember.
Yeah, we were only able to uncover pieces, unfortunately.
Well, I know you were all very powerful. I know you were selected by the Emperor. Handpicked for this. You all had specific roles. The Alliance had a specific task. I was not of this circle, so I don't know the details. I cannot help you anything with your memories there, but I know you succeeded in some things and failed in others, and inevitably were betrayed.
So if we supposedly have this power, do you know of anything that would be able to unlock it, or how we would be able to access it?
I believe maybe just getting close to the seal itself, laying hands upon it maybe, would reconnect you with the world.
That's
I believe my
an
master and
incredibly
I
large gamble.
I believe my master and I were the only ones that were able to survive the battle without being shattered. We had a different task at the time.
Could you tell us what it was?
We were meant to assassinate an individual.
An individual of the old world.
No, of Theros.
One of the gods.
One of their children.
Was this person's name Savas?
Yes.
Of course it was. Did you succeed?
We did not. My master and the Savas became friends over time.
Oh. What was his role in all of this? Why were you meant to kill him?
He was the gods' champion, their greatest, most powerful. He destroyed many of our kind and was keeping things at much of a standstill. We were able to draw him away from the final battle and distract him, but inevitably we were unable to kill him. Though we tried many other times over the years.
Did you do something to his first mate?
First mate?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Savas had a
Zane,
first mate before he met Izangiri.
I've never heard
I
this
don't.
individual's name.
Zane Pharaoh is the son of Clothis.
This is the first time I've heard anything of this Zane.
I want to give her a recap of what started all this with we
Okay.
were members on the Theros with Savas as our captain.
Okay.
Zane went missing. There was a mutiny, and it turns out that the one that came back with Savas after Zane disappeared was the supposed Isangiri.
Hmm. This is quite strange. My master and
Indeed.
Savas were friends for a time, but they fell out of a ways. My master sought to break the seal and reopen the barrier to our old world, and Savas refused. He seemed to have something that he was protecting. My master
We were.
went to destroy the
Oh.
seal and died, and years later, Savas attempted an invasion of Nyx and also died.
According to another source, when Savas went back into Nyx, he was also looking to destroy the seal.
He never sought me out, so I don't know if that's true. I don't know why he would have changed his mind. In any case, if you wish to destroy the seal, I can connect you with certain individuals within town who might be able to assist you, give you some sort of leverage, but it will be difficult.
Anything you can help us with would be appreciated.
I can connect you with my friend Amila, maybe provide you armaments.
We've heard others suggest her as well, so it's good to know being pointed in the right direction.
You have means to enter the underworld.
We were advised to seek the Moon Court.
They can help.
Did we get any information on the Moon Court?
Okay, are you asking, can you get any information on it, or did you say, did you?
Did we to the party? But if the party doesn't know, then can we?
Does the party respond at all?
I don't. I
Okay.
don't think.
I think weren't we told where it was?
In the reflection.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I think
where's
that's
the
all we know.
reflection?
Yeah.
The reflection is an area only capable of being reached through the seed seers. You can find them outside of town, very close by. I believe Oberon told you this as well about the seed seers.
Okay, yeah,
have
no,
it in
I
my
think
notes.
he did.
He gave you something to give to them. Is what I have in my notes.
Man,
He did. He
Did
gave us a
my-
coin.
Yes.
Okay.
Bam! Look who took notes.
Good job, Siren.
Yeah, good job. All right, so Seed Seers, we've got that in. We need to meet with Mila to see if we can get some stronger arms.
So we'll pause you guys here and jump back to Harmony / Obrek, but keep in mind this is the first character you've met with apparently full memory of your old world. So think about like if you want to ask her anything.
Oh yeah,
What
that's a
is
fair
the
point.
old world?
What were we like?
But we're gonna I'll let you guys think about it for a minute.
Yeah.
And jumping back, we'll start with Harmony. So Harmony, this woman took another swing at you, and she seems to be really enjoying this. You want to continue the engagement? Do you have anything you want to say to her or ask her?
I will swing again at her.
Okay.
Like the good adult that Harmony is. Oh. That's a 9.
Does not hit, so she deflects the strike off to the side. Those two creatures rush in to engage, and she puts her hand up. She stops them. No, this one's mine. She takes another swing at you, rushes in. Oof. Misses with a 3. So you're able to sort of deflect her shot. You guys are sort of trading blows at the moment.
So what are you the guardian of?
Takes another swing at you.
Why should she get another swing? I should get 2 swings. I should be getting 2
You
swings.
you
Why am
asked
I
a
not
question.
getting 2
You didn't
swings?
swing. You asked a question. So she did connect, and 7 points of damage. Sort of catches you by surprise as you're still trying to speak to her. As she connects, she growls again. Like, oh, yes. What's up, Harmony? What are you doing?
I'm gonna shrink her.
You want to use reduce?
Yeah. I would like to use reduce.
Your favorite spell. It is a con saving. What's your spell DC?
15.
Okay. She fails. So, she was just a medium-sized creature. She gets reduced down to about your size. She sort of stumbles back at the impact of the spell. Gives another growl. Like, oh, so you have a little trick, do you? And she takes another like leaping lunge at you this time. I think she's disadvantage on strength and strength saving throws. Attacks deal less damage. Okay. So you're able to deflect the attack as she sort of like leaps and takes a swing at you.
Okay. I would like to both. I will swing and ask her again. What is she the guardian of?
Okay. Roll your attack.
Okay. 11 plus 6, 17.
Okay, that's a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Hold on, I'm using the app for the 8s because it's easier.
Okay.
14.
Okay. As you make contact, one of those little green creatures sort of stumbles up, looks at the both of you, just goes palm, spins around, runs back down the hallway, disappears. But she takes the hit and she stumbles back again just a little bit. She says, "Why do you believe I have to answer any of your questions, you filthy little fairy?"
Because I'm giving you the fight that you wanted.
She takes another swing at you. God, a 2. You're able to deflect, knock the strike aside. She's obviously way weaker now that she's smaller.
Should have
Her
done this to
spirit
begin
hasn't
with.
diminished at all.
Fine.
Pause you for a moment. Back to Obrek. So Obrek, Phil, you disappear into a little bit more darkness, but the room brightens up after maybe like 30 seconds or so of chasing this little creature. The hallway seems to have sort of like elongated a bit, but the creature stops at a doorway about 10 feet ahead of you, skids to a stop, spins around and points into the doorway. Pob!
Well, thank you.
Pob! Pob! And then runs off, disappearing down the hallway you came from.
Obrick will open the door.
Okay. The first thing you see is a very strange, tall, skeletal creature. As you enter the room, its eyes light up with bright blue, and this strange runic energy forms about it. The room itself is very dark. It looks a bit like a ruins. The creature sort of slowly angles its head up and stares directly at you.
Oh my god.
What would you like to do?
Obrick will try to speak to this creature. He'll be like, "Oh, I was told my companions were here.
Silence for just a moment, then you hear like a and it spits one of these runes at you. And you can make a dexterity saving throw for me.
That is going to be a 10.
So you try to stumble off to the side, but you're really just stunned by the reaction of this creature. The rune strikes you directly in the chest. And let's see what effect this. Oh, what a coincidence. You immediately feel your body start to shrink in size. You change from medium to small. You're roughly about 3 feet tall at the moment.
Hey! What the hell?
The creature begins to like twitch and slowly creak its little skeletal legs and march towards you. Very slowly.
I'd say Oberk would try to leave, but I don't think he's tall enough to get at the door.
The door's still open, so you can get the fuck out of there if you'd like.
Oberk's going to get the fuck out of there then.
Okay. Close the door behind you?
Yep.
Okay, it's a good thing you did.
Slam it shut even.
You hear another couple of those like runic spells cast and strike against the door, almost knock you over as it makes contact. What would you like to do?
That was not Palm.
You've got dark hallways both to your left and your right.
Oberk's going to go to his left then.
Okay.
Like, follow along, not run, but, slowly follow along in his shortened state.
Okay. Roll a D8 for me. No bonuses.
3.
Okay. We'll come back to you in a second. Harmony.
Yep.
Still swinging? What are you doing here?
Yep.
Okay.
I want her to answer me.
Okay.
She's gonna answer me, gosh dang it. 9 plus 6. 15.
Okay, so you get another hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Oh, seriously?
Yep.
Oh. Dang, I'm doing good today. 14.
Okay. She swings back in retaliation, but you're able to deflect the attack. She seems like she's raring to go, like ready to hit you with another one. What would you like to do?
Do I have to know like a disarm sort of thing to attempt to disarm someone?
If you want to attempt it, you can try, but you'd have to roll extremely well, like a 19 or a 20 naturally, to succeed, if that's your goal.
Yeah, I think I would like to attempt to disarm her.
How so?
Oh, I hadn't thought that far. Harmony would like to do a normal attack and do like a fancy attack sort of thing. I don't know.
A normal attack, but a fancy attack sort of thing?
Yes.
Are you trying to
'Cause that-
like hit her wrist, get her to drop the weapon? Like, what are you trying to do?
Yeah. Hit her wrist.
You want to hit her in the wrist? Okay. Roll your attack.
Okay. 15.
Oh, 15. Okay.
No, I rolled a 9 again.
Gotcha. So you hit, you make contact. She's not dropped the weapon though, but you can roll damage.
14 again.
Okay. She laughs. She's getting a little bloody at this point. She's got cuts and bruises on her and things like that. But she looks at you, sort of like realizing what you're trying to do. She's like, fine. And she throws the blade off to the side and takes a swing at you.
Oh, no.
The
she's fisting me?
nat 20 connects right with your jaw.
That hoe.
And does 7 points of damage.
Oh, okay.
would you like to do, Harmony?
Harmony will
You got yourself into this mess.
I know, but why won't she just answer my questions?
Well, why won't some random angry person submit to your demands?
How dare you? I feel like that's a rhetorical question.
What would you like to do is not a rhetorical question.
All right, Harmony is going to ask her what she wants to answer in exchange for answers.
You want to exchange something? She gives you another swing. This time you're able to avoid the punch.
Oh, good.
But she still seems rare to fight.
All right, Harmony, I want to try doing like a little like a kick.
Okay. So
I don't
just
know.
roll a standard attack and add your dexterity bonus. So d20 plus your dexterity bonus.
Of course, this is where I roll okay. Dexterity. Oh, I have no, that's saving throws. Plus 3, 22.
Okay, that's a hit. Roll a d6. And you can add your dex bonus to it as well.
5, so 8.
Okay. So you give her a kick to the chest. She stumbles back a bit. It's like, yeah, it's more like it. Jumps forward, attempts to shoulder check you.
Oh God.
Succeeds. So she does 3 points of damage, and it just like sends you sprawling back into the wall behind you.
Is this hockey now? All right, fine. Harmony will hip check her.
Okay.
So is that just another d20 with my dexterity?
Strength this time.
Oh, why'd it have to be strength?
That's not very a dexterous move.
Well, it's 16.
Okay. Another d6. Add your strength bonus.
You mean my -1?
Oh yeah, so deduct your strength negative.
2. It's a 2.
Does a bit of damage. She stumbles back a little bit. So you're a little fiercer than you look, huh?
Will you answer my question now?
She takes another swing at you. Another shot right to the side of your face. 7 points of damage.
How you doing, Harmony?
I'm at 35. It's okay. I can take more hits.
At this point, Obrek, you're running down the hall. You hear a little bit of combat. As you continue running, you finally see some light, and you see the same area that you had come from. You see Harmony now apparently in a fist fight with a much smaller version of the woman that you saw previously, with those two sort of shambling creatures just like slowly leaning over to the side and back, staring. All three of you
I'm
now
stuck
are
here,
about the
aren't I?
same size, coincidentally.
Harmony is the only normal sized one out of the 3.
Ulrich will stay and, not engage, but kind of wait, eyeing probably the dogs, I think.
Yeah, Harmony still has all of her blink dogs. She just never used them.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're just they're my pep cheerleaders.
Cheerleaders, yeah, got you. Okay, so Obrek, you're just gonna hang back and watch this brawl happen.
Yeah, I think this is probably the safest bet at this point.
Sure. Yeah, you can find there's a couple like tables and chairs and so forth, little things that you can hide behind. You're much smaller now, so it's easier for you to hide.
Oh right, yeah, that's Ulrich is going to go hide behind a chair then.
Harmony, you need to take another swing. What do you do here?
Yes, I'm going to take another swing.
With your blade, or
No, because she tossed away her blade, so I can't
Okay.
attack her with my blade because that would just be improper.
sure?
So can I attempt to hit her twice instead of asking a question this time?
Yeah, you can take a couple swings. Go ahead and roll
Okay.
twice with your dexterity bonus if you're punching.
20. 17 plus 3 is 20.
Okay.
And 11.
Okay, so you hit once. First strike you miss. Second one makes contact. Go ahead and roll your d6. You can add your dexterity.
9.
Okay. Takes the hit, stumbles back a bit. Really, really enjoys this time. Like she's sort of like Obrecht from the side. You see like blood sort of splash out of her mouth onto the blank dogs that are just sort of staring at this combat as Harmony makes a pretty nice contact.
Not my puppies.
The woman like cackles like yes, and throws forward and tries to give you an uppercut.
Oh god.
With an 18, gets you right under the jaw. 11 points of damage.
We're still doing okay, don't worry.
What would you like to do? Take another swing.
Yes.
Okay. You can throw 2 punches again if you'd like.
She won't answer my questions. Okay,
Yes.
so 15
That's a hit.
and 16.
2 hits. So 2 d6s and add your dex bonus to both.
So then 12.
12 total.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
the 2d6s combined were 6, right? And then you said to add dex to both, so
Yep.
then that would be another. Okay.
12. Okay. So yeah, you punch through. You get her like once in the side, another one in the face. She spins off to the side. She falls to one knee. She's sort of like taking some damage at this point. It's like, you're way tougher than you look.
Just answer my question.
She pops right back up immediately, just laughs in your face, and throws another whaler of a punch at you.
Oh no.
With a 23. 8 damage. And we'll pause you guys there for a moment. We're going to go back to the rest of the party with your interaction with Aikila. So have you come up with anything you'd like to ask her or discuss with her further?
I mean, Bradley, what was the other world like compared to Theros?
Different and similar in ways. Our cities were a bit more mystical, if you were. Our people weren't much the same as individuals from Theros. There wasn't much war for glory or honor. Though it was there, it wasn't as much of a primary force within our world, and we did interact with our gods, the Kamis, quite differently. They didn't really enslave the people or utilize them for their own gain as Theros gods do. They more existed in a sort of harmony.
What happened to the commies?
Most of them were driven back as the rift was sealed. They as well were tricked and betrayed by the Silver Celestial. They placed a lot of trust in him.
So breaking the seal would free them.
Yes. would free our world as well. That seal disconnected our world from any other, not just Theros. That would also allow me and the others here to return. I believe their memories may be restored should they cross back over.
Is there anyone here who has the desire to, or would potentially want to help?
I don't know of any that would be of great use to you. Most of them are barely aware, if at all. Some are more aware than others, but they live simple lives here now. They remember very little of our world. They're not really fighters.
So there were 10 of our pact in total, and we have 6 of us here, which is, well, I suppose we don't know for sure if Ulbrich is one. We have at least 5.
It's been alluded to, and Vicarian also sensed that same other world thing in him. He didn't
Oh,
say
okay.
anything other. So
Okay.
you could definitely assume, and I think it's been alluded to as well, like a couple other times.
Okay. Would is there any way now that you know that we exist to find the other 4?
I'm afraid not. I didn't even know you were still here, to be honest. Though all of you look
Mm-hmm.
quite different now.
Part of what happened to us is we've lived a myriad of lives. When our memories of the other world were restored, we also regained some memory of those past lives.
Interesting. I did not know this was possible. Whatever restored your memory was a being of great power.
Any idea what it could be?
Unfortunately, no.
Hmm.
But I would
Is
liken
it
its power
possible
to
that,
that of the gods.
yes, I was just going, it was possible one of the old gods was here.
I don't believe so. I don't believe they'd even be able to hide from the gods of Theros. I have heard, well, I don't know if it's even worth telling. It's just story and myth and rumor, but they say there was another of the Theros pantheon, a god of the wilds here, that has been asleep for millennia. But I don't know anything of it. I just know the rumors that I've heard amongst some of the creatures that live here.
So, god of the Theros pantheon that was asleep in the wilds. And it's just a rumor of it being asleep. It's not a rumor of it awakening.
It's just a rumor of its existence at all. Many of the creatures here in the wilds lift up certain creatures of their own kind and claim to be gods, but much of it is just myth and rumor and occasionally gossip. Many believe
Do you,
Oberon to be a god, but he is just very old and of great power, though they say he has laid with gods.
I think this rumor might be worth looking into, though.
I agree. Um, do you know anything more of it? Does it have a name?
No, I don't know anything more, just chatter that I've heard.
Can you think of anyone who might know more about it that you could point us towards?
If you speak to members of the courts, they may have more information. I don't know if Oberon himself would have any information he'd be willing to give to you. But That would be the best guess, or just seek creatures in their villages within the wilds. Of course, traveling the wilds is quite dangerous. If I were you
Yes.
and you're not familiar with these plains, I would not leave the Cape without at least a dependable guide, a trustworthy guide. Keep in mind, many of these guides will lie to you and deceive you.
Does it feel like she's holding anything out on us?
Would you like to roll something?
Sure. Just insight. 13.
You get the sense that she's still very hesitant. She seems to believe you on a level, but there's still probably parts of her that are a little shocked by this and maybe not entirely buying it.
Oh,
That
lost.
wasn't me.
Lost siren. Power just went out.
Oh, what a time.
Tragic. Okay.
That means I get to RP the rest of that fight out if she doesn't come back soon.
I mean, theoretically, she can join on her phone.
Sure.
All right. Anything else with the old world? Do any of you have any questions that you can think of? Things that might be useful? Party?
I want to ask.
Ashi?
Yeah. I want to ask if she knows anything of this creature that used to be guarded and is currently in prison. Basically, the creature that we're going after.
Okay.
Does she know of it? And
Yes, my master told me of it. It was a dark force from our world. The gods couldn't contain or destroy it, so they imprisoned it. But the affliction god, Farrakha, the serpent god, experimented on those within the prison. I've heard they have become much, much darker and more toxic than they were before. I believe she continues to experiment on them.
is there anything that we mean to destroy this? Is there anything that you can tell us that would assist, or anyone that we could seek out that would be of assistance with knowledge of its weaknesses or anything?
I know the entrance is within the Palace of Erebos, not far from the seal. I believe that is the only entrance, though I know it has been known to leak out into the world of Theros in very, very many places. My master was once a part of an order that's assisted in sealing these places and keeping them contained and controlled. I don't know if any of this order survive, but you can seek them. They would likely be the only ones.
Does the order have a name?
My master never told me its name. He said it was a great kept secret, that we were never to speak of this place or this prison to anybody.
I was told the same thing.
Who told you this?
I've met people who were in this order, as well as I believe my father was in it.
Your father. Is he no longer with us?
I believe he's trapped in this realm, if he still exists.
What was your father's name?
Hold on.
I'll put it in Discord chat for you.
I can't even remember all these names. It's
I
Azeth.
I have a problem.
God, I wish I had that problem. I can't even remember like normal names. His name was Azeth.
Azeth, yes.
Azeth.
I believe your father knew my master. I believe they fought together. I'm sorry to hear if he's there.
When did they fight together? What? You tell me everything that you know about it.
I don't know very much. Again, Isangiri didn't speak to me much of this order and of the actions that they took. I believe it was for my own protection. He didn't want me going anywhere near any of these areas where it was seeping out. But I believe they fought together multiple times to seal these locations. I didn't know he had a
So
family.
then Isangiri died not long ago?
Isangiri existed for a time in another form. I don't know that I trust you fully.
Is there anything we can do to earn that trust?
Also, you say that you seek out people from the other world. How how can you tell when someone is from there?
There is one who can feel their presence and assists, but I've not collected in quite some time. As far as how you can gain more of my trust, I do not know. These subjects are dangerous to speak of. My speaking to you now alone puts me at risk if you were to give my location away. You could threaten not just me, but all of those that I have brought hidden here within the wilds.
Then I think for your peace of mind and also theirs, we should probably stop asking questions.
I've been, if I'm being completely honest, trying to determine whether I should let you leave alive.
All right.
Have you come to a decision on that?
Not yet. She still has that runic seal on that door, that like white energy seal that she placed originally.
Even if our goal, if we succeed, would essentially free everyone who's been in hiding.
If that is true, your goal. At the mention of your father, I do trust you more. I don't know who else would have that information. Not many know of the prison or what it contains. But I know agents of the gods themselves have been here in the wilds committing assassinations very recently. How do I know you are not of this? How do I know you're not here digging for information for them?
Their target was our companion's father, or father figure. We spoke with Oberon before we spoke with you. And I believe he potentially was considering a similar situation. And as part of our parting with him, we have agreed to get vengeance for his son. Our mission to break the seal is also a mission to spite the gods. They've
Roll-
done so much to hurt so many of us.
Roll persuasion.
28.
Okay. She moves over to that table where her weapons are. Stops there for a moment, just like stands silently, sort of looks back over her shoulder at the group of you with it. She turns around and she simply sits down at the table. Say I believe you. How can I trust you not to go out and give away this position, give away my name?
I can't necessarily speak for the others, but the life I've lived this time around has been built on keeping those secrets. And I have no intention of betraying anyone who we wish to earn the trust of. No intention of betraying anyone who would help us, and you have been of quite some help thus far.
She looks to Otto and says, Do you remember your father?
Just a little bit. His name, but everything is a little bit. I don't know. I don't remember him quite well. I've seen some memories of him when he's in Giri. Showed me, recovered my memories. Tawazu.
Your father was a kami.
Do you know him?
I didn't know him, I knew of him. A protector of forbidden, unspeakable magics.
Yeah, I kind of had these memories of myself inheriting that task as well.
My master served your father. He learned certain arts that many, if any, others did not know. Isengiri still exists, but not in its physical form.
Can he take on a physical form?
No, he could not, and I've not seen him in quite some time.
Then how is he existing?
It's an ancient art, one that he learned from your friend's father. I don't know much about it, but I know when he was killed, he took on this form and existed in it for quite some time, assisted me in collecting, trained me in certain things, certain arts, ways to hide and protect them. But I haven't seen him in at least 3 years. Time is strange here, but I believe it to be this.
Is. Mm.
At the very least, that lines up with when we first disappeared, if it doesn't align with what we know now. When our crew was first transported to the underworld, that was 8 years ago in Theros time. But because we were in the underworld, we were on a different path. So something happened in the middle of that.
Whatever you were interacting with, I don't believe it was my master. I believe somebody is pulling your strings.
But they appear to be pulling our strings in the favor of the Otherworlders.
I agree. I cannot say why.
And you don't know
Who-
anyone who would do that?
I don't.
Hmm.
But if this individual restored memories, they certainly have godlike powers.
Is there anyone in the Theros pantheon who would want to see the other world freed?
I don't know. I don't believe so. I don't know much of these gods aside from their cruelty. But I do know they fight with each other. I know they dislike and contest each other from time to time.
We did witness 2 of them fighting, and we actually got assistance from one of them.
Then I would assume you are pawns in some god's game. To what end? I don't know. I'll let
Can
you
I
guys.
roll a religion or history on if there's any god that hates the other gods so much that they would want to see the rest of them like just wiped out?
You can roll religion.
12.
I mean, think about the information that you've gotten recently about whose children are whose.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That might be an indicator.
Yeah.
And with what you know of Clothis doesn't necessarily have interests aligned with the other gods and generally despises them and their bullshit in general. Whether or not she would seek to open that seal, though, you don't really know enough about her or her motives or intentions to like 100% say that's something that she would want.
Did we ever get any memories about Clothis fighting in the war against the other world?
Clothis is absolutely involved in the war, but not the final battle.
In the war, but not the last battle. Okay.
Aside from that, you know, gods like Mogus, the god of slaughter, like maybe you would enjoy the chaos or something along that nature. Iroas as well, like those two. Mogus just enjoys the slaughter and the opportunity to slaughter things and destroy things and kill and seek a glory in the destruction and murder of combat. And Iroas, as a god, seeks victory against insurmountable odds. It's something that drives him, and if he doesn't have that in front of him, it's a problem. So those are 2 other gods that potentially have a reason to do it. You know, Iroas would maybe want the seal to be broken so he had some grand fight that he could conquer and defeat. And Mogus would potentially seek to break the seal just so he had more opportunities to wage war against these other gods. But at least from what you've learned so far, universally, if any one god or sect of gods attempted to break that seal, they would likely be in opposition of most of the pantheon, who
Yeah.
would want it to remain sealed because it's a direct threat to them. Like, Farrakha would definitely want it to remain sealed. Perforos, obviously Keranos, Karametra, the god of the cities, obviously wouldn't want any damage or destruction to come to those cities. Nylea of the woods, the creatures, any threat to her realm, she would want to keep away. So most of the gods in general, from your knowledge of them, would absolutely not want it to open. But those are probably like the closest options. And then Phonax exists as well, in just like not really direct opposition to all of the gods, but he likes to fuck with them on a
Mhm.
level.
Is that the one, the mischief one?
The god of deception, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's a very mysterious god because he's again the one that sort of just appeared after dragging himself from the underworld, and nobody really knows the story of that, including potentially him, because he lost his entire identity and memory when he swam across the river and created the Path of Phonax. He just happened to emerge a god and had no idea why.
Amazing.
Yep.
And
So
we haven't heard of Phonax. We've seen a lot of gods. lately.
Yes.
And we haven't heard anything about Phoenix being active anywhere.
No. You would know just basically with the mythology of Phoenix that he is said to hide himself from all the other gods. He usually exists as a human or creature form wandering around Theros, and he continuously changes his form and his shape and is just hiding, always looking for ways to like take shots at these other gods. So he'll, go pop into their realms as one creature and create a little bit of chaos, and then dip out and go somewhere else and do the same thing. It's just kind of his vibe.
It wouldn't come as a total surprise then if he might be the one in the Feywilds, probably. Right?
From what you've learned of the Feywilds, most gods simply do not enter the Feywild because they don't have power there. So Phoenix would likely fall along those same rules, since he's a standard Theros pantheon god. So he would very likely not. He'd probably be one of the least likely to enter the Feywilds amongst all of the gods, if he has the ability to, because it's not known that any of them can even enter. There's not a history of any of them showing their face there.
Other than this rumor that we have.
That there is a god of this wild that exists, but has been asleep for however long. So yeah, that would definitely be the best bets. Clothis is definitely known to be in direct conflict with most of the gods, hates them. Iroas and Mogus would welcome the battle. But if they would go so far as to bring on the contempt and the contest of all the other gods to do so is maybe not entirely plausible. Thassa, as well as like a god of the sea, really wouldn't want this happening. Is a sibling of Heliod, essentially wouldn't defy his wishes either, and it's definitely something that you've seen firsthand. He does not want to happen.
Yes. Yeah.
Krufix is more of a mystery. Literally, the god of mysteries, the god of horizons, passage of time, things like that. He's a lot of things. He's very much close to Clothis, in the pantheon, being them potentially the original two. Clothis likely is being rumored to be the first, and Krufix spawning not long after. But he's very mysterious. He seems to only care about containing the conflicts of the gods themselves and keeping it from spreading. So anything like that seal breaking and emerging, to create chaos among the world is something he probably wouldn't want, and he would stand against as well. Any other thoughts or questions? Well, I'll let you guys brew on that for a second. We'll go to Obrek really quick because I'm looking forward to this. So Obrek, you're watching just for another like 5 or 10 minutes as Harmony and this now reduced woman are beating the shit out of each other in the hallway of this library. For any reason you really can't get the concept of. Every now and then Harmony will shout a question and get hit in the face for it, and then we'll return blows. After a moment, one of those small little green creatures sort of walks up to you and plops his butt down, just sits next to you, just looks at you, goes pom pom.
You led me to the wrong place.
It's not the same one that you saw before. This is a totally different one.
Oh,
it looks similar, but you can tell that it's different. It's a little smaller.
Okay. Can you lead me to my companions?
Pom 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 pom.
Pom?
Pom pom.
Okay, I don't think we're getting anywhere with this. Please lead me to my other companions.
Pom 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 pom.
I don't think I'm getting across at all.
Roll an insight for me.
Insight. Nat 20.
Nice. Perfect. Okay, so you definitely get the sense that he's like looking for more information. Like he doesn't quite like maybe he doesn't know what your companions are or who they are.
Okay. Other people like me, humans, or other such.
Pom Pom, and
Not
he
like
points
you.
he points to Harmony and the woman who are still like trading blows.
Not like her. Like me. And Oberk points to himself.
Pom. And he gives you like a little wave, and he runs off down the hallway that you came from.
Oberk will run after him.
Okay, Harmony's still just wailing away on this woman behind you. He leads you around a corner. You come back into like the more bright central area of the labyrinth. Runs to the left, past the staircase into sort of like an atrium. It looks almost like a greenhouse. It's like beautiful windows that go up into a very like beautiful glass mosaic ceiling. Plants are growing everywhere. Leads you to a corner, and there's a bunch of children like sitting along the ground playing. He points to them and he goes, "Pom pom pom pom."
You're 3 feet tall.
This is I don't know what I expected. Wait, they're just children? Like just normal children?
Yeah, there's a couple of them look human. One of them looks like maybe it's a child of a satyr. Has hooves, doe ears, sort of. There's a couple smaller children that looks like they're of dryad nature. They look sort of like their hair is almost made of vine, and they've got flowers growing in their bodies in different places. But they are all children, clearly children about your size.
Wait, I have a question. When Bob joined, did we ever tell him about what any of the other party members are like?
No, I don't think you guys have ever fully
Do you know what
described.
any of our characters are?
I definitely asked
You-
you guys to describe yourselves during that
Yeah.
first session.
I don't think Bob remembers.
I don't remember. No, I don't remember. I don't think I don't remember that at all.
Hold on. I have the. Does anybody have that chibi image on hand? The one that Siren got commissioned? I have it in one of these folders here somewhere.
Yeah, or Skylar has her sketch that she did a while back.
Oh yeah. Throw those sketches in too. Yeah.
Pull that up.
I mean, one of them is a very tall purple dragon man. Very,
I'm a blue tiefling.
I don't. That being said, though, I don't think. No, I don't think I got a description of everyone.
Oh
ever.
no.
Because like we went from Oberk being in the underworld to the party fight, and like
Yeah.
immediately went to that. I don't think there was any
And like even if we
downtime.
Had you guys introduce
Even
your
if we-
characters, I don't know how thoroughly you did so, but I remember asking specifically for you guys to introduce yourselves, so you know.
I don't remember that, so that might have been when my computer was fucked up.
Oh, it definitely was. Because I think we ended after the one shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then yeah.
I mean, I also don't remember that, but I forget so many things.
I also forget things, so.
Well, yeah. Either way, if you don't remember now, then it doesn't matter.
Moot point.
Anyway.
Yeah, right. Oberk looks exacerbated.
A work
Oh
in
no.
progress of everyone.
Oh, there
Oh.
it is.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
It'll eventually be finished. I'm busy with life.
No worries. Now you have to add Oberk.
Yes.
Just add one of those garden gnomes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's easy. It's really easy.
like
Hold on
a
to
real
the
like a
tail
real
of it.
picture of
Just
a garden
tall
gnome.
garden
But he's a
Cut and
big
paste from Google.
But he's
Yeah.
a big one. You gotta make him bigger.
Yeah, just like stretch it, it'll be fine.
No, just keep it to
Oh.
scale. Just to have his nose be like a foot wide.
It's accurate.
Incredible.
So Obrek, you're staring at all these kids. This
Oh,
creature's looking up at you, like giving you a big smile.
Palm, no.
Pom pom?
Ulrich starts trying to like mimic, taller people.
Pom. He lifts his hand up like you are, and sort of like mimicking you.
Ulrich tries to go bigger, you know.
Pom. Gives you another wave and runs off.
Ulrich will follow.
Okay. Leads you down another couple hallways. I want you to roll a d8 for me again.
There's going to be 4.
Okay. So I reference my Librum rando here. Okay, so he leads you down a couple hallways. The first one's really long. You're like jogging lightly to keep up with this little creature who's just running on all fours very quickly, and you're probably about 2-3 minutes as you're just going down this hallway that doesn't even have any doors or anything, just rows and rows and rows and rows of bookshelves. You reach the very end of the hallway, and there's just one door at the end of the hallway, no other route. And he stops in front of the door. It's closed. It has a knocker on the outside of it, in the shape of a spider. He points up at the door. Pomp.
Ulrich will say thank you, and knock
Pomp.
on. Use the
He
knocker.
he runs off down the hallway, and the door just like creaks open as you hit the knocker.
Hello?
Looking inside, the entire room is filled with spider webs. It looks like it's maybe 40 feet wide and disappears into the darkness ahead. Looks like a library room. Like there's several. Damn it.
Oh man.
And there goes my train of thought.
Yep. Sorry.
So
Beautiful. It's perfect. I couldn't answer anything better.
So the room itself, it disappears into darkness about like 60 feet ahead. It looks like it's very, very long, and again about 40 feet wide. There's what looks to be a large bush in the center of the room, with sort of like red, pulsing, glowing energy at the center of it. You want to go inside?
Ulrich will go inside. Say, hello? Anyone here?
Hello. The bush unfurls itself. A couple of arms appear, and it stands up on 2 legs. And as the top of it unfurls, there is just the upper torso of a woman that is glowing red with glowing red eyes and very long white hair. Sort of stands fully about 11, 12 feet tall, with sort of like the normal size humanoid upper torso of this woman in the chest of this creature. It just pulses every now and then with this red energy, and she has a very strange smirk on her face.
I don't suppose you'd be Kello, or you'd know where my companions are at.
I can help you. Come closer. There's vines that are slowly growing along the ground and sort of reaching towards the door that you came in from.
I'm okay over here. We can talk like this, right?
Sure. I'll come closer to you. And the creature begins like slowly lumbering towards you. Those vines seem like they're moving to close the door.
Ulrich's going to try to leave.
All right, make a athletics or acrobatics.
That's a nat 1.
Oh no!
So you turn around and you try to leap out the doorway, but you forgot that you're only 3 feet tall. So you land with a thump on your chest, about 3 feet from the door, as those vines creep up around and close the door, almost slamming it shut in front of you. You can also feel those vines that are starting to like almost reach over and caress you.
R.I.P. Obrick.
What would you like to do, Obrick?
I don't suppose you're going to let me go, are you?
In time, maybe. Come closer.
I don't suppose you're going to let me go alive.
Of course I will. Of course. I would never hurt you.
Good. Could I ask for your name?
My name? What's your name, little child?
Obrick?
Obrick.
Obrick Batinis?
Oh, what a lovely name. My name is Gian. Still like getting closer to you and closer to you.
Very, very nice name.
The vines along the ground are starting to like reach up above your waist now.
I don't suppose you'd know where Ikello is, or anyone. Oh no.
I know I don't know that person, I'm sorry. But stay a while. Maybe we can
Suppose
talk about them.
I, I suppose we could. If is this your home? It's
About 10 feet from you now. No,
lovely.
this is not my home. No, I come here from time to time.
Ulbrich is whimpering at this point. A
uh,
little bit too scared to speak.
the creature kneels down, so she's just a little bit over your head at this point, lowering down lower and lower. At this point, you start to hear skittering, and hundreds of tiny spiders begin to climb down the walls on the opposite sides and behind you.
I always liked spiders when I was a child.
Oh, lovely! These are my children. Spiders are about reaching the floor now, and they are all absolutely moving in your direction.
Very nice. Not just looking through my spell list to see. I don't suppose you know where the exit is.
Oh, why would you want to leave? It's okay. Stay. Spiders are getting very close to you now. Definitely get the sense that you don't have a whole lot of time left to do something if you choose to.
Oprah's going to cast Guardian of Faith
Okay.
on myself, like on my direct area.
Okay. Let's see. Large Spectral Guardian. Okay. So yeah, I think you could choose the form that you'd like it to take as well.
Just
It should be like tears thing.
a
And
tears thing.
I guess
Everett.
Oh yeah.
is Heliod still your deity at this point?
Technically yes, but I don't think there's any other options that Ulrich knows at the moment.
Okay. So it would still uh, have a sword and shield with the shield emblazoned with the symbol of Heliod.
Yeah.
And it would have to make that saving throw because it is very close to you at this point, along with all these little spiders. Okay, so again, what does it appear like?
Kind of a spectral guardian with a sword and shield.
Just like an angelic type form.
Yeah.
Okay. So it appears right in front of you, and she sort of gives like a shriek, like ah, because it like blinds, and does a bit of damage. So she fails the throw. You can clearly see that she took a little bit of radiant damage, and the wood around her, the creature that's sort of harboring her torso, is singed and burned just a bit, and it burns away a few of those little spiders that are still trying to like approach, which are now starting to scurry around very frantically. What would you like to do, Ulrich?
Ulrich would like to try to go towards the door again.
Okay. So you just want to like rush backwards to try to open the door?
Yep.
Okay, you have to reach kind of high up to get to the knob, but you're able to reach it. Give me a strength check.
That is going to be 6.
So you're yanking on the door as hard as you can, but those vines are still sort of sealed over it. The room starts to darken very much so, with just the light of your guardian sort of lighting it up. But around that light of your guardian that's produced in that sort of space around it, everything begins to glow like a very ominous red.
Please, miss, I just want to leave.
Got any other ideas?
Uh,
At this point, the vines are like what's keeping you in here. Your guardian is successfully keeping those spiders away. But it only lasts for so long.
yeah.
After it does enough damage, you know it's going to disappear soon. So you don't have a whole lot of time.
Ulrich is going to try to cast Sacred Flame on the vines.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to. I'm not considering you're close enough. You don't have to roll anything. So you can Sacred Flame right at them, and yes, several of them burn away. You can try and open the door again.
He is going to try to open the door.
Okay. Yeah, you do so. The door pops open. It's a little hard, but you're able to sort of break through those now crispy roots and vines that had sealed over it and open the door back up. You want to stick around, or are you getting out of here?
Ulrich is going to rush out as fast as he can.
Okay, you leaving your guardian there?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the guardian stays in there. You hear the howl of the creature sort of screaming and shouting at you, becoming almost very shrill. But your guardian gives another pulse, and the door slams shut behind you as you disappear into the hallway once again. How you doing?
Ulrich is going to like shakily start walking down the hallway.
Okay. Takes you a little while to walk out. It's again that very long hallway, but inevitably you do reach the edge. There's another one of those little creatures, sort of like laying down with his legs crossed on one of the tables nearby.
Ulrich is going to say, "Palm, please," and he's going to start giving detailed, or please, bring me to. He's going to start giving detailed, description of his party members.
Pom, 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 and he gives you a couple nods and runs off. Follow?
Ulrich is going to sadly follow. Very, very rarely at this point.
All right, we're gonna jump back to the rest of the party really quickly. So you're still within this room with Aquila. Have you thought of anything else that you'd like to discuss?
Man.
I had zero brain space for any background thinking.
Yeah, honestly.
Full focus on Oberyn's blind trust of these little critters, ignoring all signs of caution.
You could have ended up in worse places. Oh, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my
But-
god. That's great.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else that I want to ask her specifically unless she's willing to divulge like what Isengiri looks like now. So that we can maybe find him and try to, relay what's been happening with someone impersonating him, and if he can think of anyone that might be. Because at this point, I mean, unless we're just going to assume that Klothys is using us in some bigger scheme, then we don't really have any answers. Not a single one.
I mean, down that path, if you ask her questions related to that, she'll take it all in. And my master was very much focused on keeping that prison sealed and contained. I imagine if you were to find any answers on his whereabouts or his inevitable fate, that might be the only place.
So we should seek out the order, probably.
If you can find any amongst the order, yes. Or if it was your goal to begin with, seek the prison itself, and maybe you will find answers within there.
Mm-hmm.
Which is on the way.
Yeah, I'd say also maybe stepping out for a moment, I can give you a little more connectivity. You were given information about Zane Farrow, and that he's in that general area of that prison of the Palace of Erebos as well, and he would maybe be another source of information.
Yeah. At this point, like out of character, I'm kind of assuming that Klothys wants Zane freed, and that's kind of part of what's happening here with us.
Well, she might not even know that he's there, according to
Potentially.
Vicarian.
That's true. Maybe she wants revenge for him then, if she thinks that he's just, dead and gone.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should try to seek out Klothys at some point for some
I mean,
answers.
We can also just pray. Say, hey.
Yeah. Because also, out of character still, Harmony still needs to attune to that
Yes,
blade, right?
she
Yeah.
does. Yeah, she hasn't spent much time with that blade at all.
So
I
okay,
think
yeah.
we can focus on arming up to be able to actually enter the Palace of Erebos and not get squashed like a bug. And then
Yeah.
we have a lot of things to do there.
Mm-hmm.
And how do we get there?
We'll go to the Moon Court. They might be able to get us into the underworld. Underworld's a big place. Don't know where they're going to get us in the underworld, but maybe to the doorstep.
And there's more
How-
than just Erebos that lives in the underworld as far as gods go, right?
How
Or
long
was-
has it been since we've been interacting with Aquila there?
Probably about 30 minutes or so. And I'd say, to answer your question, you would know that a Theros also sort of exists between, so he's partially existing within the underworld. He's a god that sort of shepherds spirits back and forth. And as souls die they are first presented to a Theros, who then determines where their soul should end up within the underworld, on which plane and in what role. But aside from that, Klothys spent a lot of time in the underworld, mythologically speaking, and was said to have emerged sort of quote unquote recently in Theros' history. And nobody else really goes into the underworld. Most gods avoid it. It is Erebos' domain.
So even if we do end up having to seek out Klothys, it's possible within the underworld, probably.
I wouldn't call it probably. Potentially.
Yeah.
Last time we saw her, she was fighting with Erebus, so
Yeah.
Within Theros, though, not in the underworld.
yes, but they might not want to be around each other.
Also true. Then yeah, I don't think I could really think of anything else to ask her.
If you have questions about about the old world and anything like that, this is maybe the only person that can answer those. Again,
I mean, my only questions were all like power based. Like, why were we special? What could we do?
Mhm.
I guess I didn't ask that directly.
no, you
Sure, I'll ask
didn't.
that.
So
Why was the Alliance special? Why were we so powerful that we were chosen for this?
I don't know exactly why, but I know you were all hand selected by the Emperor. I know many of you had great power, like she points to Otto, is essentially our world's form of a demigod, the son of Tuwazu, Okami.
And is there a way we can unlock these powers here? Because the only power I got now is fireballs. Is that what you mean?
No, that is not what I mean. But again, like the only thing that I could assume is that the closer you get to the seal and the connection to our old world, maybe abilities would awaken. But that's just a theory. I do not know. But I know you were all prominent, important, and powerful figures, and you were chosen by the Emperor for a reason.
Well,
At this point, you hear a knock on the door outside, a very quick, like, dunk, dunk, dunk.
I'll turn to look. There's still a seal on the door.
There's still a seal on the door, yes. Aikilo herself, like, reaches for her blade. Outside the door, Obrek, you catch up to the little creature who has just knocked on the door for you. It's again a very dark hallway, but the room inside seems very brightly lit. Points up at the door, pom, 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 and then very quickly rushes off.
Please, oh please, let this be the door. Ulrich will try to open the door.
There seems to be something holding it shut.
Lazuli will go over to the door and ask who's there.
You can just faintly hear Lazuli over.
This isn't a trick. It's Ulrich.
Can I hear him?
It's very believable. This isn't a trick. It's me. Yeah, you can very faintly hear towards the bottom of the door.
That's exactly what a trickster would say.
Can I? Yeah, I'm tempted to like insight. Do I believe this?
I mean, it's definitely weird as fuck. On multiple levels. Aikila like draws and unsheaths her blade at this.
It sounds like our companion that should have been with us from the start. Can I open the door to see?
Draw your weapons and prepare to destroy it if it's an enemy.
I'll draw my
right.
advantage.
Yeah, I'll get my crossbow out.
Already up a fireball.
I will bring down the seal slowly. Be prepared. She very slowly lowers the sort of gleaming silver energy, and the door is unsealed.
I am going to slowly open the door and look to where Oberic should be,
You don't see anything,
And then-
standing there.
but in
and
your,
then look down.
yeah, in your peripherals, you catch the very small form of what appears to be Overick, covered in branches and spider webs, and is a little bit singed from some sort of magical contact.
Oberic?
Ober kind of nods.
And at this point, the reduction spell wears off, and Oberick begins to slowly grow back to his normal.
I should have left with you guys. Y'all.
Literally everybody has their weapons pointed at you right now, including a
What?
strange woman in the back of the room.
Wasn't
Obrick shows no fear. He is
Weren't
Yeah.
you with Harmony?
Where's Harmony?
still fighting with whatever that was.
Oh. Was she okay?
So hold on. Harmony didn't get you into, and Miasis is gonna like just gesture to all the branches and the spider webs.
Yeah,
Whatever that
a
was.
solid question.
I tried following the palms. I was not specific with my description. I've seen some things.
Seen some shit.
Gonna sheathe my dagger and I'm gonna step aside and turn to Aquila and
Get inside now. Get inside.
yeah, get
Obrick will
inside.
her inside.
She
I'll close
resheathes
the
the
door.
sword and brings that silver seal back up.
Apologies. I might have seen some kind of spider demon. This has not been a pleasant day so far.
This is a friend of
Yes,
yours.
He is one of our party, one of the Alliance. Although he was not with us when we had our memories unlocked, so he remembers nothing.
Are you Kalo?
E-
Kalo?
Aikilo.
Akilo?
Yes,
Akilo.
I am. I've had quite the discussion with your friends.
I was told by Oberon that you would unlock memories for me. Ones of the old world.
I'm afraid I cannot unlock memories for you, but I can maybe tell who you once were.
Obrick will kind of, stare, like, nod.
She moves towards you, approaches you, cringes a little bit, seeing the mess that you are currently. But very unhappily leans forward, gets very, very close to you, and just stares directly into your eyes for a few moments. I'll type this into the chat as well. She says, "You are of the Order of Jukai. You were a gate guardian."
What do you mean by gate?
You were a guardian of a spirit gate. It was a crossing between the Kami's realm and ours. The only such gate I know was located in the castle Ijanjo. I'll type that into the chat for you as well. I'm sorry, that's all I can remember.
What did that entail? What do you mean we're regarding two realms?
The realm of the kami is similar to the realm of the Theros gods here on this plane, in our world. The world you originally came from. I'm sorry, have your friends not explained this to you?
I know nothing of this old world.
Kind of look around.
She raises an eyebrow at the group of you, looking to you each.
Yep, avoiding eye contact.
You know, a lot's been happening all the time.
Hmm. Maybe your
That is
friends can
fair.
give you more information, but you originally, many years ago, were a part of another world that the gods of Theros sealed away after a great war. You were the member of a great alliance that sought to defend our people and our world, but you were betrayed. Apparently, they had their memories unlocked. Again, looks to the group of you, still with a very judgmental stare. But unfortunately, I cannot do the same for you. It is possible if you find the same being that unlocked their memories, it can do the same for you.
I would hope so.
I guess I do have another question in that regard.
Hmm.
Do you remember our names?
I don't think I ever knew your names. I know the names of some that you were connected to. Referring to Miasi, she sort of gives you a nod. You were a warrior for Kaima. I don't know your role or the nature of this, but I know you are connected to a great Tamashi, a spirit, and I believe your companion is that spirit. She notions to Phi. I believe the two of you have carried on together.
Was Kaima a person?
Kamai was a great defender. Not quite a kami, but close to their power. You, she sort of directs her attention to Ashi. You were a defender of the prison. The prison we believe the spirit escaped from during that final battle. The one that now may contain your father. You were a guardian. You were called Kanushi. Imprisoned within the walls that you defended was an individual named Yukora, a very, very, very dangerous Oni.
A pony?
And Oni.
I heard pony too before I translated.
Thanks, guys.
I also heard pony.
You were like,
Yes.
I heard pony.
You know, we're gonna stick with pony.
Oh my god.
No, it is an Oni, as in a
Yay.
Japanese demon.
Yeah.
Give me a pony demon.
It could be a pony demon, sure. Maybe you'll find out.
You said the name was Yukora?
Yes, Yukora.
And that's what we believe is this demon entity now?
I'm not sure entirely, but the potential is there, yes. Or it is at least related to Ukora on some level. She directs her attention to Lizuli. You were a saboteur for the Emperor.
Zuli will nod.
I know you were high ranking within the Emperor's forces, but I don't know much more than that. This force was very secretive.
Yes, that's been the nature of the lives I've seemed to live.
I'm sorry I don't have more information for you.
I think this is more than enough information, personally. Thank you for sharing with all of us. Have you come to a decision yet on if you're gonna let us leave alive?
Wait, what?
Poor Oprah. Yes, I will allow you to leave here, but you will speak of this to nobody.
Not a soul?
Seek the Seed Seers. They will send you on your way. But I warn you, as you exit the Cape, do not drift too far.
All
All
right.
right.
I
And
mean,
then before
wait.
we go there, we do want to meet Amila. Are you able to describe her for us?
Yes, Amila is very pale-skinned. She has long ears, wears red. Her fingers glow bright red. Her eyes glow bright red as well. Her hair is white, blue tinted. She will be in the markets. She's always in the markets.
Is there anything that we can tell her that might ease her trust in us?
I believe if Oberon sent you, he may have notified Amila already.
All right.
She looks a little hesitant still, but she steps back and lowers her hand and clears the seal on the door.
We still have a problem though. We're missing our guide. How are we gonna move throughout the Feywilds without Harmony?
Sure, we can go collect her.
Yeah, Oberon said she was still fighting the woman that we passed.
Obrick?
Oberic, sorry.
Same difference, right?
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Do you have any more questions for Akilo?
I don't think so.
Everybody else good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. She steps back and sits back down again. So then I wish you luck. I don't know that there's any hope of you succeeding in destroying the seal, but should I see the rift open, I will know you succeeded. And you will have my gratitude.
We'll see what we can do. Thank you again.
May the kami smile upon your efforts.
Nod and smile, and then if everybody else is ready to go, I'll head out.
Yep.
She stays silent within the room as you leave. exit back out into the hallway of the lab room.
Yep, go back the way we
Yes.
came.
Okay. So you disappear around a corner into one of the dark hallways of the lab room in search of Harmony. And we'll end the session there.
Yeah.
We'll give Siren an opportunity to finish her interaction when she gets back.
You didn't want to take her blessing that she put in chat?
You know, I was, but this is not a bad place to end, unless you guys want to continue on.
No, I think Harmony can be with us when we
Yeah.
go to Amila, because she was also told to talk to Amila by
Yes.
the hot guy at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that
my
works out.
brain is fried. I cannot think of much now, so I'd rather just
What's
continue next
Yeah.
week.
going on, Snow? Don't you have all this free time now? Like, what is the
It's
shit?
just that
Yeah, daylight
when I
savings happened. It's no longer, 3 hours in
Well,
the
no,
future.
he finished
no,
he finished his internship and
it's
everything. Isn't it?
it's like I'm split in two different moments here. Moments where you call my name, I immediately like my brain fires up and I'm active. I'm
Got you.
fired up, and then it's like 30 minutes of waiting for other stuff to resolve, and like you're dealing with Harmony, dealing with Oberic, and I'm like just if it stays for that for too long, I start to like my mind starts wandering off.
I'm just
You're
have to keep
not
calling your name.
enraptured by.
I'm pretty sure I have some sort of ADHD with that, because like I keep like daydreaming or something like that.
I'll keep shouting your name and asking for your opinion on things as we're
Gonna keep them on their toes.
Yeah.
I mean, if it works, sure, I don't mind.
But I mean, yeah, that was a good session though. You guys ran through a lot.
I have no idea what's happening in the story anymore.
I'm more confused than when we started now.
Yeah, you've uncovered a lot
Uh-huh.
of things, but now you have questions, but you know how to get the answers.
Uh-huh.
Do we now?
Yeah, so you think we know how to
should.
get the
You
answers.
should.
Do we?
We have to go kill God, obviously. That's the only way
Yeah,
to
Yeah.
get any answers.
technically that's every D&D campaign. Yeah, you got a little more information. You know a little bit more about Zane and his fate now.
Know who these people have been. And I'm not entirely convinced that they're not who they said they were.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
still
I mean,
think that
I
they
think
just-
there's a good chance that it could be Clothis fucking with us to get us to do what she wants.
The only
Awesome.
problem with that is Clothis is the goddess of fate, and so she wants fate to play out the way that it should, rather than like that's why she's pissed at all the other gods, is they keep putting their fingers in things and messing things up.
Yeah, but I mean, if there are other gods who like have been affecting fate so much, would she not in turn affect fate to get back at them, you know?
Yeah, I could see that.
Because like
We're-
maybe like the reason that she wasn't in the final battle is because she didn't like fate says that that world isn't supposed to be sealed. So she didn't want any part in that. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a
That's
theory.
my thoughts. Is that it could be Clothis.
I don't think it's a god. I think it might be a demigod. Probably someone who I haven't I haven't written down yet. But I feel like the gods are way too in their own, lane to be tricksy about this. I don't think it's Phoenix either, because that's just like a red herring.
Yeah, wow, we're being deceived by the god of deception.
Right. That'd be too obvious, right?
Who would have thought?
Yeah, who knows? Could be. It's definitely something powerful. You've learned that. Like, it's something that
Yeah.
has great power in the world, and if it's been doing all these things and Savas isn't Savas and Isengiri isn't Isengiri, it would take great power to manipulate that. So, like, it's
Yeah.
not just like casting illusion. That would be.
Yeah, it would also
Like
have to be
multiple
something
people.
that would like know who to imitate. because we, of course, we knew Savas, so we would trust him. And then there's the mystery of Belle, who wasn't even with him when we first met her.
Right.
And
Yeah, so it's
then
been a
it would
ploy that-
also have to know that we would meet people who would know who Isengiri is and imitate Isengiri. I
Right.
don't know.
And then potentially didn't know about the existence of Vicarian as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's like the
Yeah.
biggest flag, like with okay, so whoever is pulling the strings here knows that Belle and Savas had a child, but that's where that knowledge ends. So then they had to kind of make things up.
Y'all are making me even more confused now. I'm gonna go to bed.
Good night.
Good night. Thanks for playing, man.
Good night.
But also, Miasi is asking, like, should we try to find the other four of the Alliance?
Oh
Thinking,
yeah.
like, oh god, the crossover episode.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I
coming.
assumed, right? It's not
Gonna
player
have to play
characters. It's
two
got to be
characters.
I already have a resolve for that, so if you do inevitably try to track them down, I've planned for everything.
Oh my god.
But technically, you guys are closer than you've ever been.
We really are.
See, I feel like there's some kind of weird, half soul shenanigans going on. Some Twin Peaks, evil good, souls, going on.
Fuck yeah.
Well, that's what the Savas straight up told us.
Yeah, right. And
Like, the bad
That's
part
what
of my soul is still in the underworld, but I'm the good part of my soul.
right.
I mean, we also never thought to ask why Isengiri, the very first night that we ever saw him, when, the face of Keranos was in the sky, why he appeared like a demon?
Yeah,
I don't think
why
we-
didn't you ask? Why didn't you
Well,
ask?
I don't think we ever asked.
So the thing is that did he actually appear as a demon, or did he just look demonic?
looked
Because Isengiri's
Yes.
actual form, like, is pretty dark.
I guess that's true.
But
And
you
I
never made
think
the
the only
comparison?
person who was
Harmony.
close enough to get a good look at him was Harmony.
Yeah, Harmony is the
Yeah.
only one that got that sight. Yeah, it was in the very first session. Harmony's the only one that went up onto that dome and got close. Harmony got really, really close to the cloaked figure that is still assumed to be Isengiri, but nobody ever really asked.
Confirmed.
Yeah, if that is
See-
We all
the
just
same.
assumed.
Right.
Yeah.
Seems like Isengiri is the focal point of, like.
What did-
Some information about Isengiri is not right.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
He's suspicious at the moment. What did Briar see when she was in the captain's quarters? Did she just see a cloaked figure?
Yes, you saw that same cloaked figure. You never got
Okay.
close to. Basically, like as you were entering the room, the cloaked figure had already pushed out of that hole above the chamber.
Okay,
So
yeah.
in the interior, you saw a little bit of what was going on with him and Savas, but it was just cloaked at the time, and then disappeared over the top of the dome along with Savas.
Not before summoning some
Yes,
freaky fire beast thing.
absolutely. But yeah, that's there's if you think about things and you connect the dots, you can definitely piece together some of what's going on for sure. Like the information's there. You have a lot of information, and that's probably why it's confusing. Like you've picked up a lot of new things in the last couple sessions.
Yeah.
But if you've been taking good notes, and if you go back and connect dots from things, and you can definitely figure some lie from some truth in what has happened. But yeah, in essence, you at least at this point know that whether or not that was Isengiri or like the original Isengiri, it's very powerful, whatever it is, and it has powers that neither these old world individuals have, with the ability to restore those memories.
Yeah.
Or anybody else that you've encountered on Theros at this point. So it's. But essentially, you also know that its motives, at least, on the outside, are the destruction of that seal, right? Which is seemingly aligned with the rest of what these otherworlder individuals want. So
Seemingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I've got to go for now. I've got to
Right then.
do some deep dungeon stuff. So bye.
Later.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.